onwards. Let's go! Ladies and gentlemen, this is the recap for Play for Keeps. In this map called Play for Keeps is the person who needs to take a battle and take the jewel after the alarm is no longer here. So can people keep the alarm jewels by their back? So else, if they get killed, they will come second. So they need to be a winner. That means it's from Guild, Hives and Guild, Janice and Uruguay versus Loot Boy. And but if we make it to the match, we complete the match. It's versus Gloria Truette, Wave George Sky with Loot Boy cruised up 4-4. He scored like 2 to 18 and 19. Enjoy. Now. Next match is battling with Loot Boy Squeezy with Curious Roulette. It's not here. Next game is with another. Sorry.
Fortnite fam, I'm telling you, that intro is fire. It is fantastic to be here and to see all of your shining faces. Welcome to the final day of the FNCS All-Star Showdown. The solo competition is today. It is going down. 3 days of skill challenges have led us to this very moment. And now we will see it all unfold before us. We're playing for a ton of prize money. And who better to break down all the action and tell us how things have happened than Reese and Levin, my friends. It is good to be here with you. How are you guys feeling?
Look, Zeke, it's been a long week, but a fun one, a fun, exciting one, and I think, you know, every single day I sort of just find, you know, getting closer and closer to that solo day, and we're finally here. We're finally here, what we've all been waiting for, the main event, and I just know it's not going to disappoint. I know it's not going to disappoint.
Yeah, and I share that sentiment, and I know it's not going to disappoint because we have, quote-unquote, the all-stars from the region in this match. The players, who's going to be here, who's going to be competing. Every single one of these players almost has a chance of getting in that top 10. There's such a stacked roster that we're going through, and I just don't see any way it physically can disappoint.
Oh my goodness, there's going to be so much incredible head-to-head action, so many crazy end games.
Crazy action,
but for now, we're going to talk about
so now we're going to talk about the Fortnite. We're going to talk about what's happening now. We're going to take 45 players for chapter 15, 5, 3, the trios was saved for season 6.
11, we had
What about
where 10 players are joining, making up a total of 100 players.
Total players.
Yeah, we had the players.
Yeah, we had
a couple of really interesting players to make it through, and I think we'll also be able to track their journeys across the day. But you know, in terms of the format, 1 day of competition, 6 games total. You know what we're used to. Probably what a lot of people played as their first ever game of Fortnite. That solo battle royale, and at the end of the day, there will be that one champion. You know, we're playing for a lot of money today, Reece. You know, there's a lot of money. But before we get to the money, let's get to the points. How players actually earn points to be able to make some money. As you can see at the bottom, you receive 2 points per elimination. Players are going to start receiving their placement points once they hit that top 75 and all the way until they hit first place to total up to 30 points for that victory royale, along with any other eliminations you get.
Yeah, so realistically what we're looking at is roughly 15 eliminations equal a victory royale, so very, very placement heavy still. You're looking for those kind of top 5 finishes being the big ones, but this is what's all up to play for, the prizing. Like, you know, being first, being the champion, let's be real, that's what all these players are playing for. They're competitive players, they have the spirit in them that they want to win the championship. But look, the prizing is not too shabby either. First with 150,000. The first, kind of second and third, all top 3 placements, all are over $100,000 prize pools here today, settled across the 6 games. That is a big prize pool to play for. It's going to be very tense.
Yeah, look, you got to remember, some of the players have already been competing this week in some of the skills challenges. They've already been able to make some money this week. You know, Thomas HD tweeting out, you know, I've made 7K from the skill challenges. Let's make that 150. You know what I mean? Add 150K to that. Let's make it 157,000 and go from there. So, you know, a lot of those players are going to be confident. There's a lot of money on the line and high stakes, incredibly high stakes.
Yeah, and I think a lot of the players that have come from last season's FNCS are already performing as well. You know what? Their performance and their kind of confidence is going to be sky high. They've been in the stag finals already. Some huge names that we've seen, you know, the Resins, the Savages, all these kind of players who a lot of people have got in their sidelines today. You know, they're going to be feeling confident as well with a lot of the community backing them too.
That's why we call this the All-Star Showdown. So many big names going head-to-head, clashing on the island. It's going to be insane. And this being the first, like, tournament on the brand new season, there's going to be a lot that unfolds before us. We're going to be seeing a ton of things we've never seen before, and I'm looking forward to it. But first, we got to talk about drop spots, boys. And who better to tell us than the players themselves?
That's a tough one. It's just unique from all the other POIs.
Like, this is perfect.
For competitive, I prefer new tilted. I went there in World Cup and I know it pretty well, so I think that's why.
I definitely knew tilted because like when it was in the game, there was like the flying tunnels.
The nostalgia, all the memories from it. So I gotta pick season 2 tilted.
Ooh, I prefer Neo tilted. That was very fun and a lot of mobility.
Neo tilted because there was like the builds were very modern, and I just like the style of the city.
I would still go with Paradise here. I think it has more and better loot.
Paradise Poems, of course. There's a lot of loot as well.
I would say Frosty Flights, because back then Stumpy and Aqua were my favorite players, and I always looked up to them, and the trio FNCS landed there and won it.
I was a bit confused back in the days when I went to Frosty, because I didn't really know the buildings well, so I prefer going Paradise.
I don't know, I just like the hotel in Paradise Palms way better.
Pretty hard question. I would say Lucky Lang, to be honest.
I'd always go to shifty shafts and like try to eliminate everyone there. So I'm gonna go with shifty shafts.
That's a tough one. Probably lucky landing.
Shifty is the better POI.
I would still rather land Lucky Land and Shifty Shift. I think there's better loot.
It was just kind of refreshing when it got added to the game instead of retail, so I'll go with Mega Mall.
I like Mega Mall as well.
I would say Mega Mall for sure.
Mega Mall is like really overpowered, like it's way better than retail right now.
I prefer retail, to be honest, because last season as well I landed there in the solo tournaments, and then one of them placed top 5 when I landed there.
I think Sunny Steps was better. Snobby Shores was way too far edge zone.
It was like decent loot, so I would go with Snobby.
I think Snowy Shores has more loot than Sunny Steps and more mats.
I'm gonna go with Sunny Steps. Sunny Steps was kind of a cool concept with like the stars and everything.
Snobby Shores because I landed there in duo back then, when it was still in the game.
Guys, I miss these old POIs, I really do.
POIs.
But with a brand new set of POIs, locations, weapons, gear, the likes, I mean, Season 7 is fresh off the presses. We got to talk about where these players are going to be landing, especially in the solo competition. Reese 11 are going to break it all down for us, and we have maps. That's right, so let's take a look together. Let's see where these players are going. Reese 11, where do you guys want to start?
Yeah, what they gonna start?
I think the big thing is obviously Believer Beach, right, which a lot of people will be familiar with. It was once called Sweaty Sands, and I think the big thing with Believer Beach in today's competition is just how many top players are going to be landing here. Forzia, Shadow, Nate, No, Riley. All premier players within the EU region, Reese. I know for sure, you know, one of these players, even not all, if all of them could have been in like a top 10 list if you were to create one. So, you know, what happens here today is going to be a really interesting dynamic.
Yeah, I think, to be honest, when I look at this and I look at the 4 players in this one spot, I look at No really being in the power position. He's taking the full east side, which gives him the hotel control. And, you know, I made a joke about this earlier where I said he can easily disengage if, you know, the zone pulls east, but no really, he's not going to disengage. Let's be real, come on. Like, we know No really he's a fighter. Off spawn in solos in particular, we're going to see a lot more engagements going down. So as you can see the hotel on the right hand side, that's what he's kind of grabbing. We're going to have to see how much other loot he can get here too, because obviously he has 3 other players around him. I think Shadow's landing just to the south of him, and then Forzia Arzo's going to be up there near the water and potentially tipping up towards Coral Castle, with Nate on the kind of southwest side, as you can see. But that's going to be a super interesting one. Another interesting one that I also want to look at is also where Thomas HD and Say are landing. One of the new dish spots on the map over towards the east hand side. Now, these are 2 really good solo competitors absolutely in here, and you can see Thomas HD's little name on the north hand side of that does suggest that he's taking the north, while Aseti on the south. Now, this is a spot that does not have enough loot for 2 people to land at. So, one of the things is I think this is where we're not going to see any engagements happen, because Thomas HD is trying to take the top, where there's going to be 2 supply crates, I think 3 chests for him as well, and he's also grabbing the turret side, which is on the west side, which has 2 more chests there. I think Seti is going to be landing on that southwest side, away from Thomas, and potentially dipping out towards the lake house down there to grab himself some even more loot. So there's a lot of potential for these 2 to do well, but at the same time we might see an interesting engagement come out between the 2.
Yeah, and look, you know, Seti is somebody who, in one of the more recent solo competitions we had, right, with the Gref G Cup, he won that, right? He's shown his prowess as a solo player, even though a lot of people might not necessarily see him as the favourite in this battle. I want to just take a look around the map, though, Reese, and look at all the favourites, right? Because there are, you know, so many players in this. We talk about this being the All-Stars, the premier competition within the region, but even in that, there are some players you sort of have your eye on and you think, I could definitely see this person winning it. And I think, just in general, for me, you know, I look at the likes of Chase and the likes of Janice, the people who have won massive pieces of solo competitions in the past, right? Chase and obviously having Orchard uncontested. You know, there's not many places on the map that you're able to look at today and see a player just land at a spot with plenty of loot uncontested. He probably has about, you know, 10 plus chests available to him just alone. So, you know, these are players you want to look out for in terms of what they can do, because realistically, if Chase doesn't get like a lot of pressure I'm about to put on him here, but if you can look at it and be like, that's disappointing, do you know what I mean? So everything is setting up right for him today. I really am looking forward to him and Janice and some of these other guys on contestants to really put in some work.
I mean, I think just to harp on the Tayson point, when it came to the Invitational, right? These are the last 2 solo tournaments we've seen. Tayson in the Invitational and in the solo FNCS, which was 8 and 9 months ago, so a long time this one. He came obviously 5th in the Invitational, and we know he all won the solo FNCS as well. So his average placement right now is so good. Third in both of these FNCSs. You know, we know Janice also won, but the thing is, with these two players, they both at that time were coming out of steamy stacks, where we do see kind of Red Scar landing at this point, and I think he's going to be contested there by Seahorse and also Andrea, if my memory serves me correctly too. This is the same level of congestion that this POI has had when Tayson and Janice won their respective tournaments of the kind of solo FNCS and the Invitational as well. So Red Scar being such a good solo player, and I think time to put maybe potentially a championship crown on him. This is potentially looking good. Obviously, I'm being superstitious about steamy stacks maybe too though.
I like what you're doing. I like you're trying to look at the parallels and similarities between the last time and this time. I think that's fair to do, but at the same time, you know what I mean? I have my doubts, and I have my worries about something what's going to go on it, and I'm going to go with the previous solo. You know, it remains to be seen. I think if we are going to sort of move forward, looking at who we all think are going to do individually as the casters, as the analysts,
checking the analysis,
I think that's what a lot of people often want to see. Who do we as individuals think is going to win? I think I've made it clear already. I'm rooting for Tayson. I was rooting for him previously in some of the skill challenges, and I'm rooting for him today. I just think everything is just set up so well for him to
scoring a victory round like he scored from the last Fortnite World Cup since like 2 years ago, but yeah. In chapter 1 of season 9, so
that's a good pick. We've already mentioned how good he is as well. The Invitational champion. Me, Sancho, and Shao, all Mr. Savage. I think I may have swayed them by saying I 100% think he's the best player in EU for solos right now. Look, we're all on it. We're on that Savage hype train.
Bro, we'll see. But you know what, Fortnite fam? The action begins right now. We're going on that battle bus, and we've got none other than Sancho West and Shyway standing by. So, boys, let's kick off the competition.
Thank you so much, Zeke, Levin, and Reese. Welcome to the Grand Show, the final part of the All-Star Showdown, the Solo Championship, Sancho. This is what everyone has been waiting for. 100 of the best players from both seasons, people from the play-ins. It's about to get real.
And what I like about it the most, Shayo, is that there's about 10 people who have the potential chance of walking away with life-changing money. But at the same time, this is solos. Literally anything can happen, and someone can come out of nowhere. We could have a Seahorse winning it all. I mean, that's what's so exciting about today's event.
No, absolutely, and you know, you saw the predictions, you see the high-profile players. Usually, it's so easy to predict or follow one team coming in a trios competition, right? You have 3 of the best players on a team, but with solos, like, there are too many people who can do well here. You're gonna have to expect the unexpected out of some of the top players in the world, and the format as well. It kind of favors elims and placement as well. It's gonna be very top-heavy, though, Sancho. A lot of these guys will have to do so much more than their maximum potential to make it past these 6 games.
Exactly, and you're looking at about what 11 would say about 2.5 games of optimal performance to be able to close it out, to be able to walk away with that grand prize. And right now, what I'm looking at for is who's going to be able to survive some of these contested drop spots. We already highlighted a couple, and no doubt one that everybody out there has their eye on is the fight between Benji and Pink. If that goes down there at that dish area, that's going to be very interesting to see who survives. But my eye is always going to be on who walks away because that's going to be one of those statements that we're all going to go like, okay, this person, it is their day-to-day.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's kind of a soft reset this season too. Not many POIs would change coming into this completely. Some additions here or there, some new small landmarks around the map. You're mentioning the dish, right? That's where one of those fights might break down. You know, with solos as well, you're coming off of a team play type of scenario. A lot of people might be displaced. We're going to older spots where newer players now have a little bit of comfortability. We saw a little bit of it in Season 6's finals, right? Some up-and-comers facing against champions. That might happen against Sancho, and in solos, you don't have a teammate to rely on. You can't really do pinches as much. It's all you, your shots, and your builds.
And that is why, I mean, you and I both predicted 100 Thieves, Mr. Savage will be able to win and walk away as the champion today. I mean, there's just something about Savage that we all know that arguably is one of the best solo players in the world, Anaheim DreamHack champion, and at the same time, I think his drop spot is very clean, pristine point, way up there in those houses. You're going to have to be on, like, so much confidence to be able to contest him because there's not a lot of loot up there, and those 50-50s up in those houses are very dangerous to contest.
No, very, very steep, very dangerous indeed, and when it comes to Savage, in general. The reason, like, I think a lot of people are riding with him is because even if he doesn't end up in the lead at the start of the competition, he's always somewhere in the top 3, in the top 5, all the way by game 6.
All the way by game number 6. But not talking about game up, we're talking about VR. It's all about momentum.
Solo. So who will
take the first game as
all our players are getting ready to jump off that battle bus?
The best in Chapter 2 and Season 7. So all the competitors are in the race.
Here is the Fortnite
Island. Ready for 100 games to drop off.
This is going to be game 1, and it's always going to be intense. And if anything could be like the Appleseed Trios, we saw a very hot start.
We got a very hot start.
Game
From
1,
game 1,
let's go.
A lot of people on the ground. Thomas HD,
but it is match 1 Shio wager. Let's see who's going to be able to walk away with that first victory.
With the first victory royale. It's the FNCS! Check Season 7.
In the sky, Misty players will be slightly late, but I'm looking at it just on contention right now for some of the top players is not happening. Thomas HD having that dish for free, where Senti is the question. Slightly lower, going for that island. Now, so there he is actually inside. I was actually assuming this man will be looting that lake house and everything below it, but he's actually looking to steal a little bit of Thomas's loot and then maybe go down and control that south side. Very risky, but smart and sneaky in game 1.
Sneaky in game 1. We've already seen how people go down.
Jerky, Mappy taking out the deal. Those are two are going head-to-head in their drop spots. So that was so exciting to see Ori off the drop, but I'm surprised the deal. One of the best part of that, you talked about, this is not a trios competition. We always say that's a great fighting trio, and the deal already going down to Mappy.
Now let's talk about how thick the server basically is now, right? Like, usually you have 33 different types of squads or entities fighting each other. Right now, 99 in total, different lines of sights, different clans are going to be up against each other head-to-head. Even if you're at the same POI, it doesn't really work the same. You can't track a mass of players moving. You have more chances to be sneaky. See Noel Riley here just moving around, making sure he's getting every single weapon, but at the same time, keeping an eye on these windows because he's in a very hot spot right now on Believer Beach in the center at the dance floor. Anyone can roll in sneakily and take him out. 4ZR is here too. Shadow up as well with Link beside him. What a legendary.
One of the legendary
players EU has
best players in the EU region, yes, and already Vino pick up Mysterios. Vino's one of those dark horses that may be able to win. Didn't really have a successful season 6, didn't really compete in the FNCS. Season 5 had a coming out party, as you've seen here. Shaco's picking up Sapphic in the feed. This is what people are playing for. Victory Royale. We're 30 points, second place 25, third place 22, fourth place 20, and of course each elims worth 2 points. You've got to keep an eye on that top 10, because that's when that placement points will be really doled out. And here, 4ZR had a great momentum in that Euro Cup. He was able to walk away first place. You've seen some of his YouTube clips of him going to work. He is very dangerous, and he could also walk away with the entire thing, Shio.
Yeah, when it comes to solos, it's kind of been an added flavor all throughout the year. Some third-party competitions here or there. The DreamHack rolling in as well. The back half of last year, the main course though now is what it is, and we have that first fight. Noah Rally on 4ZR's walls. We'll see exactly if we can take him over. No skill challenges this time. You have to combine all the different types of ways to fight inside the game. Boom! Ram comes down. 4ZR switch up. Boom! A second ram. This man has inside his box. He doesn't even have the back wall. Edit through Noah Riley, putting down the pressure. 4ZR and kind of steep waters. There's a pool below him. If one of those floors goes down, he could drown. And Noah Riley's really putting on the pressure from all different sides. Finally, getting in, but now it's hard walls right next to him. What a nice ramp to block that left shot. Everyone here is literally having spider sense reaction to every shot and wall changing in front of him. And Noah Riley, he's
Marvel game, Spider-Man, Marvel Mirage, and PlayStation 5.
He's on the front wall, getting him trapped. Hasn't hit the right edit. 62 damage. Noah Riley. Boom, another one.
4ZR right now.
HP. He takes a big shot down to 4 HP.
That great pump put some big critical damage on Noah Riley, and he has no point to retreat. 4ZR needed that shot, just to give him a moment to breathe, to starve off the Martian. What a great response, and now we have another stalemate. And these are the dangers of these kind of engagements. The longer they get drawn out, the better. I mean, Noah Riley is one of the ones in the entire EU region who has the ability to close out these one-on-one engagements fast. And right now, 4ZR is putting up a fight.
Yeah, those one-on-one engagements happen in those team modes.
Picking up the
Nicely
team mode,
people use that big pressure, control the whole fight. But I'm just looking at some friction right now, not actually complete closure. And Noah Riley will try to get a few things done. A third party possibly coming in from the right side as well. Maybe Nate wants to take a bite out of this fight. But you gotta remember,
Zone's not here.
Every single shot can kind of change your trajectory, kind of pinball you around the map.
At 5 o'clock, I'm going to be watching the Euro 2020.
Fights you're taking, but how much time they take,
no.
and then where you have to move. So we'll see some big disengagements.
Got some big disengagements, very
players, and some of the biggest spots on the
What a great collision between two Titans early on. We highlighted this Believer Beach contested drop spot in the analyst desk portion, showing that there are some great players here. Here is another great player in the EU region. My pick, Shio's pick, Mr. Savage. And a lot of the fan favorites out there with the Chug Cannon. This is going to be a great utility item for him at in-game. To give him some ability to chunk some storm. At the same time, he can just survive just a little bit longer here. I like what Savage has done here. Coming down from Pristine Point, rotating over here to this leftover Guardian Tower from the Primal Season.
Getting viable Flumso Shags.
Now you can also see the difference between a sole proprietor on this map versus a company man. You have a POI that has so many different people in it. You're basically trying to work up those employee ranks and be the king of your drop spot. Meanwhile, if you're landing by yourself, you have to be proactive. Getting that surge, dealing that damage. So Savage, he's going for the positions. Meanwhile, lots of people are holed in barns, houses, weird fields to make sure they can get their damage done and also not drop the ball and get picked off by someone else at their POI.
We're now taking a look at another favorite here, Janice, a solo champion, walking away, coming from risky reels now, will possibly change the draw spot down 40 complex, or possibly rotating here, does not have a lot of power behind it, so he's going to be looking for that refresher. We're seeing more engagement happen throughout the map here. This is Kiko and Juku going north side of the retail row here, in a little scrub themselves. Placement points have yet to be doled out. They will start at the 75th place here. Just taking a look here, Badil and Jerky down and out of this competition. So big names are already falling early, and a lot of big names still alive, like Tayson.
Benji Fishy also eliminated for now, and you get to see the kind of cerebral game of solos kind of start to go. Usually, you're fighting for control of some of these higher portions on the map, so you have a better vantage point to take shots. When it's solos, though, you have some room to kind of, get in there with other players, get in there with other entities, and share these locations. Right now, Vortexer is going to be facing off against Tayson on Zay Hill, overlooking the north side of the map. It's not going to be free to take shots, and sometimes you possibly might be forced to fight. Vortexer is slightly closer to Tayson. This is a fight you might not want to take, my friend, but he's looking good with it on the aggression.
Vortex is not afraid to fight, and 108, and he takes out Tayson with ease. Vortex coming from the All-Star play-in, and he was a fighter, and he wasn't afraid of anything.
He's gonna go not afraid of him
today. Amongst the All-Stars,
he's not afraid, and he takes on another big-time favorite, Shio.
Breath skipped a beat because he went down. I was like, is Vortex really taking this fight? And yes,
he did. Yeah, he did. He took that
wow.
It's been a while since we kind of had solos be that main focus. Many different types of playstyles are going to be rolling into this. Let's look at one of his previous elims too. I mean, this man is aggressive. Every time he sees an opportunity, he not only goes for it. Yeah, this is his game right now. He not only goes for the fight, he actually ends up hitting that big shot as well. So huge there right now.
Oh my God, got a friend request.
Just Vortex just looking so aggressive right now, and he has control of one of the best spots on the map. So sniper rifle in hand can go for some crazy long-range damage as well. So that close-range box-fight shotgun type of fight is what he's looking for.
Already some big eliminations happening here. We have Ardent. Ardent, who had a very great successful run in the FNCS with Fastroki and Pizza. Definitely punched his ticket into these All-Star Solo Showdown by an 18th place finish back in Chapter 2, Season 5. Now we have 4ZR, which is one of my other picks that I thought would do well. If you had to press me for a top 5, gets right into the box, unable to get the clean hits that he was looking for. But my question is, 4ZR, even though he had that great pump, he did put a lot of damage to Norway.
I'll be back anytime soon. I'm going to get my phone because I'm ready to watch the Euro 2020 at 5 o'clock.
Sometimes you gotta do
Because
what
today
you have to
it's
do in solos. It might not be about
Spain
the
versus
overview, but
Denmark.
basically just how you use it entirely. You have so many
I
ways
mean,
to
Wales
fight on
versus
your
Denmark.
own, delay certain fights, but once again, 4ZR does not have zone. Still needs that damage. He had a big shot on the Noah rally, but isn't enough to really get by Surge. We'll explain that in a second, as he's still stuck in this underground maze against Jetscoot. This man has his back against the wall. 4ZR pyramid, cones right beside him, but he gets to escape out. What a close range, scary fight.
And you're seeing the differences of the different metas. You know, before in other solos, we had different abilities to get inside of boxes. You've seen crash pads. You have very unique ways to push your way through. And 4ZR now is going to have to deal with this metal defense that Jetscoot's putting up. And you see Belix there, the Italian, making the rotation, coming in from the All-Star out in the distance. But this fight's not over just yet. And looking at the power in the blue pump, it's in Jetscoot's side here. But 4ZR gets in the box. It's a deadly 50-50. Out goes the ARs, and Jetscoot takes out 4ZR. And I have to say, that battle with Noah Riley wounded 4ZR just enough for Jetscoot to definitely take advantage. Wow. Big names already gone, Shayo.
Definitely a lot of early game shakeups going on around the map. Now we move on to the section of, you know, going for a good spot, making sure when you're in zone, you're staying in a very good, you know, position entirely compared to everyone around you. You saw what happens when you're stuck in the dirt with 4ZR right there. You know, any type of player can come in and take you out when they're slightly aggressive. Fastroki playing it very smart. If you guys were paying attention to trios, the way Fastroki beats an Ardent play when they're just, you know, attacking this game, and you can see Pizza right below Fastroki as well, they like to just react to what other players are doing around them. Be in safe spots first, observe, and then attack. So that's why he's going for such high positions, gathering information on everyone else. And that's why you'll see people like Nate in their cones beside other boxes. Noah Riley's right there too. Once again, two players from the same POI. They're gathering as much information, the patterns that people might be making on edits as well. Every single little thing gives away a little bit about another player, and it might make you, you know, a little bit more comfortable to rotate earlier, take an extra shot, edit faster. And right now, Jetscoot, he's kind of pushing his limits on how far this base can
Back in business, I'm just getting ready to set up from your audience. Tonight, a little bit for Euro 2020. He's playing for Wales versus Denmark on the round of 16.
Between trios
They
and
don't watch
solos.
much.
People
So
inching their way. You're not seeing some erratic movement going towards center as you would see some trios would make in a vehicle, and that's not it. This is all about getting in and just holding it out and making sure maybe zone comes your way. We're still in the second zone here, and now we got our first taste of the Storm Surge here. Jetscoot, 138 above. 17 players will have to go down if they're not past that threshold. If you're passive, you will get penalized, and that is the kind of the danger and the lethality of Storm Surge. As you can see here, this is the most stacked FNCS in history, with 334 final trips amongst the players, and I'm still surprised that Vortex took that taste. And like, this is the kind of day that Vortex is having. We all got to keep an eye out here, but this is another engagement. Noah Riley taking another big name in the EU region, and Nate.
It was solos, the Kevlar these guys have from reputation. I mean, it's not unpierceable. And right here too, Nate, he's actually shooting down Noah Riley, getting actually heavy focus right now in these boxes. There's so many people who are looking at this zone line. This better be the most stacked FNCS we're looking at in history. It's the All-Stars, baby, and so many big names. We'll see a few more go down. Floki taking away Hen, Slender going down to Trulex as well. We saw Trulex and so many aggressive type of positions, looking and hunting for a player to get. Noah Riley will be able to reset once more. What? Okay, he just dropped the shotgun for now. I was wondering, what up near loadout, my man? It's looking shambles.
Vortex still yeah, absolutely. And right now, you have to worry about Nate. I believe Nate is really close to that threshold here. This is a different target down, and now we have to look at this as well, child. Nate's the only player remaining from that trio of 4ZR and Jason. They came third place in the last FNCS season here. Yes, now he's 121 above, but he still has Noah Riley knocking on his front doorstep here, and the knocks are getting louder, and they're getting a little bit scarier, but again, they're not afraid of Noah Riley. Responded with an 87 tag just to hold him off. I'm just not seeing Noah Riley being able to finish off these fights as he used to quickly. Oh no!
Oh no.
He doesn't have the extra juice in his step, no actual utility to use right now inside his loadout, and it's so difficult to just go and try to penetrate these walls of names other players is watching over and over again, because these guys are hyper-aware, they're more so on the defensive. Some more of those cerebral players are looking to make sure that they don't actually get caught down by the W queues of the lobby. Nate here once again has such a long base too that even though Riley ends up, you know, controlling one piece and winning another, he has so much of a safety net, so many different panic rooms he can stay in, and now with some moves, he has a temper is all he can use to actually get away and maybe even stay in the fight slightly, and boom, right hand beat.
Wow.
The advantage, he gets the pick down, he has the speed to catch up with the zone.
And almost had a taste of in-game there, just letting the storm kind of push your opponent forward, and you're just literally sitting there with your gun out, waiting for them to pick out through or edit through or crash through, and Nate taking advantage right there, but now Nate is getting in a very precarious situation, has to work his way out of the aftermath and get his way forward.
Oh, the aftermath, you have
so close to the, it's not a very long rotation, as you see all our competitors making the rotation towards the safe zone. Right now, Mr. Savage following some of his resume.
Oh no! Oh my, oh no! The sniper has been unbolted. A takedown on 100 D. Mr. Savage with a blink on them.
Just fire across the map. I don't even know why he sent Savage straight back to the lobby, and Dredda will have to basically catch up to his ghost on the same type of rotation. So far ahead of everyone else as well. This man was riding the biggest time wave in position, in pressure, and now it comes crashing down. Raxel also putting down pressure, almost even taking full damage. It's chaos, and it's just
no,
make it in.
Raxel
going down. Everyone just makes it.
Back up production. How much you know?
We're struggling.
We're struggling to be in the
Who would
zone.
have known the northeast side of this map would have so much traffic coming down this rotation here, and now you're seeing the box fights ring out here. Nas trying to defend two different fronts. Mappy, who's already taken out the deal here just next door. You're hearing the chug cannon. This is just the early game chaos that's happening right here in the All-Star Showdown solo event.
And this is how you lose.
Insurance activated now as Trulex goes down to eye drop. Launch pads are a big thing added this season, just changing the way end games are played and rotations happen past that third zone. Some people might look to actually end up using this magical device to actually get ahead and get inside that fourth zone and then look to recycle. Some of these positions seem impossible to rotate from. You can just see right in front of Nas right there, there's a huge uphill incline. That's where you're going to get headshot. That's where you're going to have to use upwards of 2,000 builds. And as a solo player, you don't have that option. You don't have that match to be able to use. So, I mean, Stompy, everyone here in this little apartment complex, they're going to have trouble really getting control of this next zone.
You're seeing Mikey getting an Elam as well. Seti still in this fight. Stompy Right still in this fight. We just had the scoring go off. Now the zone's about to close. Seti picking up Virox. Seti, one of those other people that do really decently well in solos. You know, you can talk about Seti, Kemi, and Tiki. You don't really think about Seti so much when it comes to solos, but still, someone who can win it all. Rush takes out Knifer.
Stompy and a bunch of people in trouble, though. We have to wait for 9 people to go down for this next search threshold. Pay attention to the number above that mini-map. Basically, if they're underneath, if that number really falls under that graphic, these guys are in trouble. They need to do damage, or they'll get dealt damage too by the server, by the map. So make sure everyone's active inside while they're playing, and making sure, you know, everyone in the server is staying very, very aggressive.
I just saw underneath the reason it is Vortex. Vortex has been the grim dealer of eliminations here, going after anybody that's near him. So Reason has to be careful. Janice picked up the win. Let's take a look at the replay here. Janice, who's been working very steadily, picking up Nebs there, catches up with a ramp made out of soft mats, gets an easy elan with the beats.
And that's just an example of the pro radar, knowing exactly what's happening around you in that 3x3 box, knowing who's where, what pressure they're taking, where the shield bomb's coming around. He knows exactly where Nebs was, shot through 2 different bullets, and gets that elimination. So huge there. from Janice. We'll see exactly what will happen. Straight up next, silence around the map right now as people are getting ready for this next rotation. See exactly what will happen. Straight up next, silence around the map right now as people are getting ready for this next rotation. 30 seconds to basically allocate what your next move is going to be. Chapix, dangerous game here, my man, but the loadout, that also looks very, very scary. He has the best tools and loot basically to attack this end game, and has a gas can inside there as well that can really set the server ablaze. Look at Reason though, a two-piece where he was Vortex, and he's got Vortex too.
Vortex has been really aggressive, taking on the big names, but just could not handle. Reason right there, Nate shoots on through, and look at the loot. You talked about the loot on the other side, but Reason has some really great in-game loot. He has the pepper, he has the chug cannon, so he's gonna have the movement and he has the builds. My only concern for Chap's side of things, Shayo, is that he did not have a lot of builds, and I was thinking he's looking for a refresher.
And yeah!
He's not going to be in the best. He's not going to be in the best. You're right, he was going for it. Michael ends up taking him out. If you can't really build in the end game, are you allowed to play? Server says no. He's gone. Now we look at, oh my god, a beautiful sight top down. Look at all the names ready to attack this end game. Everyone inside zone, waiting to see what they can do next. Janice will be your pilot for this trip. He has the highest point of elevation right now. He's actually getting challenged here by Pizza, who just like in trios, overtakes, looks for the half and half, gets aggressive, but it's all on him now. No teammates, no dynamic height retakes. It's just going to be up to him to stay above Janice and stay above you.
Janice is using his AR to get most of these innocents, keeping them clean. He hasn't really had too many engagements box to box. It's all from distance, and sometimes in a solo bit, being able to sneak away to take those eliminations are going to be a huge. Right now, we got to be close to another placement point threshold here. Once it gets into the top 40, another point will get doled out. It's the top 10 they're going to be looking at. There's so much placement points to be doled out. And of course, with every more 2, it's going to be a big bonus. At the same time, Andalex, newly signed to Falcon here, is a name that we've been hoping to make a resurgence back to Glory here. Andalex, who had a bad run in the FNCS, went all the way from the back of the pack, moved all the way to 7th with his trios. One of those names, Andalex, is looking forward to have a great day today.
End game starting up though. Gliders up in the sky. Andalex is a very forward front position, but once again, 50 different lines of sight. Now down to 40. Eloclat's going down the zone. Andalex has to be careful. King Mike on his right side. This man is lethal with the bump. Andalex sneaking in, almost has the shot with the wall block. Right in, diving, no pause for respect. This man doesn't care. Andalex gets a huge upgrade. Another invasion from a different nation. He just turns on that man, and oh my god, a second one to just defuse right there. Andalex gets to survive. That is taken out. Each box is being observed, is being analyzed by 5 different players. If you trip up for even a second, you're going to be taken out.
Thomas AC looking to for his trip, but says he picked up High Chris. I believe that was Toos that was able to close that out. You know, he did pick up High Chris there. Was able to take that away. He picks up Swag as well. Some nice eliminations from Thomas HD. Now he's just going to need some mats here because he's only down to 15 now. He has mats on the other side of the wall. He has
He's going to do it. Script go.
Clear resolutions in his mind, but up top it's Vino playing Mastermind to see exactly what he can do on top mission as well. He lands down once again. Control he has. Thomas HD now. He's actually losing control on the backside, getting focused. Now he's down to 9. We'll see exactly what he can do as he walks in. It's over now. Thinning out Vino, getting another goes down. Shizo is hitting Reason inside the feed. Top 7 situation. HD is the lucky number. He gets down to the very end, and Mr. J is the one to take him out. Vino running out of matches full. He has 4 to his name to decide what to do next. He might have to hide out down below though. And done. Rasputin, they're battling it out. It's a 5-man game.
It's all of a sudden we hit in game and we blinked in an eye. It's almost over here. It's a top 4 situation. Fast coming in from the play-in track here with 4 eliminations. Still a name in the EU region. Looking for some respect here. Down to only 3 builds. It's the chug cannon that's going to give him the ability to go Vino a little bit of a survive, and yes, he finds some very valuable builds. Even 7 is just enough. He's looking for more loot out there. He sees someone out front and done there on the backside of the storm, getting pressured here. That's why he gets tagged just a bit. But Shizo now is at height. What happened to Vino? What happened to Vino?
Vino might have got taken out. Fast Walker's looking for the match to actually get these guys ready. He's fighting
position. Fighting for a player and enemy. The funny hits. The big 1v1 big battle situation here. It's 1v1 and Fast Walker has nothing. So Builder Harlan here is gonna go to something. He's on a few more. Goes the shot, misses it, and the A-up is there because he's going to the big cool muscle ever since he did it. Yay! Yeah, and it's 6 pictures of Victory Royale left. Now the final moment is gonna go stuff with the high ground. All down to 19. That's right, to send out the build, and he didn't do it. He's gonna die. So many, see that unbelievable has good here on all time and more highlights to look forward for. And who needs to be a better fun I play? Like, listen to these. I didn't know what to do. Because people have hype and they, yeah, barely taking down these players next. Like, winning, because he's got a big conspiracy actually. Birds on him, like, he's gonna be able to die in the box and he's got beaten around.
In the feed,
he's good.
when I said expect that is
100% for today.
We're gonna need
them.
Let's kick it to
let's kick it to
and our host Zeke.
Guys, thank you so much. This first game, whoa! Literally all the high-profile players we thought were like, oh yeah, we'll see them. Top 10, no problem. Boom,
no problem. Headshots.
Boom, picked up on rotations. What is going on, Levin?
Yeah, there's so much going on, and I think that's what you get with solos. You know, we can sit here and give you all the analysis and show you the genuine favorites with genuine reason. But at the same time, you will have this where you just have switch-ups, where you have top players who will come out of nowhere. And we saw all throughout the game. All throughout the game, we saw these big players going down. You know, just before the game, you know, pretty interesting stuff about the leaders' victories. Especially fight between Ride and Fuzio. We wanted to know how those guys would interact at Believers Beach, and both of them came out of it well, but at the same time didn't necessarily have the best of games.
Yeah, they didn't, you know, that fight they disengaged and then met later on, but we just saw Vortex popping off in the feed as well. He was one of the people that actually came through the play-ins and was performing so well, just eliminating everyone, fight after fight after fight after fight. But Queasy was a player that I think we were looking forward to do really well, and going down Gisort early in game 1 is definitely a tough one for him.
Like I was gonna, but I don't believe it. But don't smash right because you don't know how to flip. Yeah, it's how you
to keep your eyes on.
It's just so much chaos.
Are the players who can survive in this chaos. It's weird because you see these players who have crazy levels of skill, the Tomochis, HDs of the world. That's the difference sometimes in solos in these end games. Can you just pop up?
I can see any pop-up plays, you're gonna see back-to-back plays.
To be in the right position in those later stages of the game, and you know, of course, Thomas HD is one of the players who can do it. Shizo as well, showing he can do it winning the game as well.
Negative battles.
I'm just rattled, Reese. I am absolutely rattled. I don't even know what to expect moving forward now. Shizo's sitting in first place after that victory hour with 6 eliminations. For Strokey in second, Mr. J, Lucky in third. I want to believe that they can continue on this. Maybe this is first game jitters for some players.
How much they can
I don't want to overreact.
But I don't want to rap, but they
You know, I think when we were looking at this top 10 here, most of these names we were not predicting from the start. Again, it's game 1, we only know we don't look too much into the leaderboard too much, but same with Shizo, for Strokey and Mr. J, all of those come out of game 1. I think any of us predicted to be a top 3 to start with. I am going to give my shout out to my boy Andon for being 7th there. He came 4th in that game with a single elimination. A player I've been hyping up a ton last season, and in trios in particular, as a new up-and-coming solo player, won so many cash cups, so many other tournaments as well, already putting it into place in the first game of this. But again, looking over to the next page, 11th down till 20th, these are the players who started to put it together, but really weren't necessarily to get their foot off the ground. You know, we saw Reason with 2 eliminations in that game, in basically a spectacular fashion, as always. Low ground in that 5th zone, but fumbling it after that.
Of course, right? You know, you can expect these things. I think the big thing, right, is like you said, you know, the players in that top 10 aren't necessarily the players who we were hard predicting, but yet you can make solid cases for every single one of them as to why they are a top solo player or why they should be respected in that manner. And look, moving forward, some of the off-spawn engagements, we saw a bunch of top players going down early. Losing fights you may not have thought they would, like the first fight of the game, Mappy versus Vidal. Who would you expect to win that one? If you're sitting at home right now, who do you think is going to win between Mappy and Vidal? You think Vidal, he didn't? Went down 99th place or 100th place, whatever. This is getting crazy. I can't wait to see what happens now in this next game in terms of off-spawn and even towards the later stages of the game. It's going to be crazy.
Bro, it's insane. And this is just game 1. We have 5 more ahead of us. We're going right back aboard the battle bus. So Sancho West Shy Wager, back over to you guys.
Is going to the returning, bro.
I wanted to stay on the desk.
I want to stay on the side.
Like after that first game, I'm coming in with like, you know, okay, I'm gonna analyze this. I got expectations of that. I threw them all out the window while these guys were on camera. What do we do?
I mean, we were just talking about it in the break, everybody. I was like, man, the end game is. Blake and I, we were just talking about we're entering our first moving zone here, and all of a sudden everyone just got eliminated. And Shizo, an unexpected name, was able to walk away with the victory royale. But it shows you, this is the All-Star Showdown solos. There are so many people who made it to the finals in previous seasons with trios, and as well, I'm quite surprised that those top 10 playing players are actually making some noise here today.
Some of those zones, it feels like we switched from stripes to maybe zigzags and polka dots right now, because early game is where they're actually the ones that are having the most trouble, right? Those smaller, earlier fights are going down the 3rd and 4th zone rotation. It's not just Surge that's taking them out. It's other people in their boxes.
You know, we're talking about patterns. I mean, the 90s fashion is making way back, and all those patterns are always clashing, man. You got stripes here, polka dot here, zebra print, all in the same shirt. You rocking the vibe, I'm rocking the vibe, but everybody here, the vibe is real.
The vibe is real. It's not true. Anything could be everything. So many people are going down here. We have I know Shire's matches. The bus is going up. So shout all of these missionaries good to moving shadow on the mother school shit. And now he's gonna go I'm actually still have to stand toward the end of the day. And then you got everything should point this out because it's the worst mistake ever you never saw. Because how much you right to the wide, the fair really could have gone down something. Yeah, I'm very like curious behind these guys who phenomenal striker. It's all your
in 30 seconds like they usually do.
Why
has the believer been so slow before fights break out fast and fights are committed?
That's what we all have our eyes on now.
I have not been because this guy, because was the day we did it.
Maybe it was just a couple of first game jitters, but we all know that statistically he's one of the fastest
and
now we just showed that young kill.
Not seeing Christian songs. Christian songs and shit.
These guys really rolling, so this might be the clock back we're waiting for. It's in an extra time a little bit in that happy volley time chamber. Fleck and taking out Diablo. Man, it is actually brother versus brother all the way over. I was very curious as to how that would break down. You see teammates being a bit passive on his POIs, but no holds barred on EU. They don't care who's dropping beside them. After that first game, Sancho, these guys know what they're doing. And that's just the game. Be confident and take advantage.
Sometimes, red's a great color, but green is a little bit better. You know what I mean? And we're talking about the prize of $150,000 on the line for first place. Hey, sometimes you gotta take out your old teammates. Sometimes you gotta take out your friend core mate, whatever you call the friend culture these days. But my eye is right now on those big games down early. We'll definitely keep an eye on the team to see where it all goes down. But wow, so far, I'm just so surprised to see that they rocking around. I think you have a re-rotation, boom, sniper comes out of nowhere, headshot.
So much heads up.
You know, who's the person that took out Mr. Savage? I'm like, yo, who took him out? Because it was a really nice shot.
I'm not surprised. You know, the stuff that goes down. That sniper, I was expecting it somewhere. For that, Savage was the most surprising part. I was still looking out. And you know, more flabbergasted the fact that there's almost 5 people making off spawn from Believer Beach every single game is going to be looking like now. Second POI as well. I mean, pretty evenly. I would expect
One of the things I'm surprising is it feels like every FNCS and every set one, there's always a traffic zone, a high desert, maybe someone out there in the highway closed down a lane, right? And so far, coming from the northeast down to the south, there were so many solo players on that. We had like 10 to 12 coming down that rotation, and that's what happened to Savage. He was making his way down that rotation. He was in front of that lead, that pack, and then he gets sniped. So you got to keep an eye on that. I remember so many ones.
She's a sound that I was listening for Euro 2020's national anthem.
So much problems getting out of that rotation, making
Wales, guys.
You saw in the wedge between Weeping Woods and Sport Factory being a hotbed.
Yeah, please see the sound of the Euro 2020's national anthem in this song. Because they're celebrating Cameron, Christian Eriksen has Blackbeard. Now Blackbeard decided to only stay, you always have to go out and play in the nice weather. In a cloudy weather, not the sunny weather. It killed, otherwise he will collect again. So it's faint. And then fainted to the So today we're watching that was the Euro. This is doing the national anthem. See how I can do this.
That was a big shot. That was about a flick that went all the way across full screen. And that is the tracking that the team has here. Rezumi, who's also landing here in the aftermath, sending in shots to the deal says, hey man, I remember that and gave him a 22 tag for his fucking ring. And I just got received word there in the last match. It was Mark last night, Mr. Savage. So we'll now get to know that forward. Right here, he's been very active here in Believer Beach.
There's a reason this one I stole some first. Very. To the left. It is a bit this is the So check out my driving in the seat. To capture fun, you've done this way to stop failing the Fortnite match because you
He's stranded. All of a sudden, you shoot at them and they respond and they beam you twice. You thought he had the nice and bad sniper in a quick turn was able to get the big 40+ tags here. And now we're going to another game of Region 10. I thought we definitely something to be aggressive here who have the chance to win so far. No points. I just know he's using that in this team battle, but he's seen this man win an NA East solo cast, right? This is someone that it thrives with solos. If you look at his average placement, it's looking at the literally like top 10 material with the opposition so far. Hen is one of those names as well that I'm expecting to, but it all depends on if Jules has been that person that even he kind of slowed down Andalix during the FNCS video, so that's not an easy win to get.
Initial movements where just waiting for the ball to be played. So you've got to improve in that regard. It's very similar in fairness to what we do to teams when Gareth Bale and Aaron Ramsey. Because it's a technical record, and you saw in the goal
does not matter. Bounce backs happen left and right here. But they're liking and seeing though is a change of pace for a lot of people.
Just a lot of yeah, especially when it was.
Everyone's more spread out. People are moving slightly early.
Away from that game, they would have analysed the opposition again. They were playing against top players in that game. Again, there's going to be movement by the Denmark team, which really hurts Wales. But again, if they are reacting, in line with the play, making sure that they're not second to
oh no! He's gonna go. He's trying.
Stay still because everyone that did last game, I mean, they got insta 200 and quick taken out of the competition. You have to stay aware, active, and alive.
He had a great
Want to
game
make it
against
past
the
you know,
again. I think that he's growing in confidence.
Even like how much?
I said before that he's going to be an important player for Wales for the next however many years, and there's some great clips of him in the last game, especially. If you look, this is a centre half for me. Bang, middle of the goal, strong header.
He's gonna have to make it up. He's gonna go for a hallelujah bit. I'm back because I'm going to exactly go to the Euro 2020.
And I think he's just growing and growing this one crunching tackle. And we don't see that enough today, I don't think, in football.
How much if you take how much you take that?
Why don't you just run the whole way? This is why. You know when you run on sand, that's basically what this is. That small distance actually ends up being so far because of the pressure everyone has left and right ways, taking a few shots on the Safik. You don't want to use your shields immediately. You don't want to do crazy things and run out through all your utility before the end game starts. This small distance doubles or even triples in size because of the pressure.
How to get the over stuff, you know.
And now you're seeing Noah Riley's rotation. His plan always visits the aftermath. Maybe just looking
to see how much to get over there.
You see Belix there. Rotating that's coming all the way from Reaper House. So far it's been surviving. Everyone thought that, the players and Belix.
So I'll be back in the time soon, guys. I'll be back.
But so far they're proving that their solo prowess is there. As we've seen, Vortex now has his eyes on Asterios. So Asterios, you better watch out. Indred and Thomas HD sharing neighborship. We have a deal down in the gas and grub, down below in that gas station. And this is where it matters here. Everyone's trying to get those valuable Storm Surge tags, trying to get those position here. Shizo and Thomas HD tied for the most elims in game 1. And we all know there is a bonus factor with the most eliminations in the solos finals match. So $1,000 and $1,020 will be given out to the most elims here. So we'll keep an eye on that going forward.
I'm liking this change up in pressure for solos though. Usually by this game we see some people going a little bit stir crazy. That 90 out of 100 on the top left turns into 80, turns into 70 sometimes by the second or third game. But everyone here is really trying to stay in, Sancho. Right now, that first place prize, $150,000 for EU in first place before. I believe it was like 300K. That was split 3 ways though. This is the biggest personal prize available right now. And there's only been 1 game so far, so everyone definitely still has a chance to get towards top 10 inside that leaderboard. This is the biggest competition we have this year for Fortnite. Everyone is trying their best, all 100 players, at getting that spot, that prize. Kaiser against Mr. J. He's going to be taking a lot of damage here inside Lazy Lake. Complete activity though all around. This is about physical education. Mr. J, he's making the move to disengage. He got his shots down. He has that surge damage. Look over to that right side, and now actually causing a bit of chaos behind him. He leaves a car crash back there and says, I didn't do nothing, and moves straight through.
Mr. J with that 3rd place finish and with about 4 elims. So what great start to his day here as Kaiser now has the remnants of that car crash dealing with it here. Voltia with armed with just so little, one above Shio, and now he has the pressure coming in the front side. He's gonna have to hold on here, gotta dip into those hard matches just to show Kaiser there that he's gonna be willing to be a little bit more stubborn. Now he's 3 below, 5 below, so dangerous.
Mr. J basically brake checked 3 players on a highway, and now these guys, their gearbox, it's absolutely ruined. Kaiser going for a desperate fight, overexposing himself as well. I'm surprised this man didn't get sniped. He drops down. Oh my god, okay. Big panic here inside box to box. Both players on 25 HP. Metal all around them though, so pickaxing these walls over time, it'll get more difficult. They'll be so strengthened. Kaiser will take that chance though with that added padding pick that med kit up. Now the zone comes in though, and all these guys are in trouble.
You're watching a lot of the bottom of the board here. All these players have 1 point here, and they're trying to get a little bit more here. Kaiser and Voltia with 1 point is basically sitting all 6.
Back in business, bro. Nah, I'm just gonna go help the business battle guys because whoever wins can earn. Yeah, so 880 PM bound.
These players making his rotation as hard as possible.
Yeah, what's my case? He's gonna actually behind you.
Need that so badly to open up the path here for this rotation.
Winning how much it is.
Sneak on through to this catacomb that's happened, but now with that Surm thing coming in, it was just a matter of time before Joe closed that out. Now Flois is down below, sending up beams to the top here, looking to find that a perfect third-party opportunity. You got Panics here, Elo Kraz in this congested rotation. As you're seeing the rest of the lobby now looking in to see if they could take away any valuable 2 Elim points right now. And Joe's going to have plenty of meds to kind of get back up to full strength. But my concern here is just going to be the other people that's sitting next door to him.
Yeah, he was kind of gifted by Kaiser there, the Surge, but that gift came in the shape of a double-edged sword. Basically, did so much damage to him. He survives with like just 1 HP kind of, and just rides out all his utilities gone. Meanwhile, as these guys are struggling to get morsels of damage and Elims, Fast Roki is really picking up the pace on the other side of the map. 2 Elims right there. If we get those watched back as well, that'd be crazy. The Siptos, Hadi, and Anas, they'll move out in very, very separate lanes. These guys aren't even on the same pathway right now, the way they're moving into the zone. Hadi actually staying back a little bit, and Flick actually takes to the skies.
Taken to the skies, but an update for y'all. Shizo, the Game 1 winner, is out, and the current leader gone. So that is what's happening right now. The people are now waking up. You're seeing the skill kind of show. And Seahorse takes out Mr. Savage.
Wow. Stompy taking out Kiriachi and then turning around and taking down Hen inside the feed as well. Milo didn't make it past the zone. Hen actually just, I guess, clapping down Stompy. What I'm thinking about right there, it has to be that these guys were all in zone somewhere fighting it out, and that zone eventually claims everyone if you don't actually work with time. We went from 90 players just moments ago down to 68 after that rotation and surge. These guys were truly put through this huge filter and did not sift out.
I can't even believe, like, look at the kind of loadout that Flick is working with here. Just down to 38 bullets, 8 shells in the shotgun here. You know he's going to be looking for a refresher. You know he's going to try to get the zone and catch somebody. He's going to need a body right now because this is not going to last for in-game. There it is. He caught somebody. He got him.
Ask and you shall receive, Sancho. Thank you for blessing Flick. That might have been the freest Elim I've ever seen, in the most random in my entire life, but okay, whatever, man. Going down to Anas, unfortunate. Flecking from the backside as well. He'll try to find his way through, but Anas has a huge stop sign all the way on the front side of this zone. See Flecken actually moving to the right. Very good adjustment there, but he might get lobby focus in just a sec. Good 4x4 or 2x2 box there to make sure he has a lot of room to move, and now Anas has to be quiet, but man, Flick, that's just tragic.
Yeah, at the same time at the hands of your old teammate, right? From the trios days. Oh, come on, man. Why do you have to take me out? And Nas and Queasy are tied for the most total solo final VRs with 2 apiece. So now we're going to see if Nas can add to that stat as he's moving on through. You see Noah Riley, I believe, still in the feed, still cooking, still working. Indretta still alive. Hi, Chris. Thomas HD and Indretta, who've known to cross a lot of paths in their FNCS days, considering that they almost come from the same side of the map. Dirty Docs going against Steamy Stacks here. And Jetta armed with the chug cannon. Feeling good. I would feel good right now. I got a chug cannon. I got a launch pad. I got mats for days, and I like what this new kind of technique, this meta is, of people building out of woods early on their rotations or protection. I know this is not an in-game yet, but looking forward, you're expecting a lot of our players go.
Yeah, let's put up for sorry, I was telling at least in my
It seems like all these newer contenders just rolling around in weird spots, finding
You have to be hanging out the back on later. I just outside of Matt to the ring.
I guess he's gone and now Hype is over there.
Mr. J, the third place team, third place player going down in the feed, so first and third are gone. Fast looking at obviously, no, he's gone as well. So our top 3 is gone. That's how quick it can happen, folks. Now we go here to the fan favorites. Benji Fishy rocking the Lachlan outfit here, looking really good.
Lachlan outfit.
Super early in match 1.
Early in.
I've got the pages on the script here, right? Like, let me write Seti up. I got some 6 stories from Fast Rookie. Okay, he's
stories, how much they can. Yo, that's kind of not following along. You know how much it's taking.
So, lots of things happening on the edge side, somewhere towards the middle of Zalber's Andrea.
And then he goes to this,
first rotation.
so,
We're talking about VR.
short, and short.
And just pop out of a cone and eliminate you while you're invulnerable in a glider state here. As well, gliding through the air, and it's not as free anymore. A lot of our Fortnite pros have the beams to send you out of the competition, and Shaykos takes out the deal in match 2. So yeah, man, you know, when they came to us and like, hey, Shaw, you got any predictions? And we're like, yeah, we got predictions, but I mean, come on, it's solos, it's chaotic, it's madness.
No one can predict this. A majority of the lobby has to move through. You can see the speed of the arrows on the map. You can actually see it from this perspective. Everyone's found launch pads to come through. Everyone had a good position now. You're looking at Benji, Snap, Slender. Look at people landing on top of them, actually extending high all the bases that they have so far. These one-by-one condominiums, the bungalows turn into high-rise apartments fast. Thomas HD finds a spot above 2 other people and becomes the landlord here. 155 metal, though. I mean, he has struggled to get to this spot. He's used everything now, and he's gonna have to force himself into a box once again, risk his life to see this end game.
Vino picks up Chapix in the feed, and we've seen Thomas AD be in this position before where he just clutches, and now he's going to be out for the hunt to find someone going his way. If it is an edit down below or a cone, that is what's going to take for him to survive. And Dreda has used the bush strat. He's chilling in a bush, vibing out. And Don, Reese's favorite right now, looking solid with the chug cannon and the peppers and some launch pads. I'm just concerned for the grape tack. It's just not going to be enough in those 50-50s.
I'm seeing Benji Fishy inside an end name though, and I'm seeing a few mountains on the left and right. Some woods as well coming up soon. This is where this man ends up popping off so hard. So we'll see exactly how he can roll in. One of the best loadouts we're looking at as well. He's got the launches and he's ready to go.
Benji coming into this match, 94th place with 0 points. So you're seeing that he was able to get his first points of the tournament here with 5.
Finds a community pad. This is huge for him to use. And wow, everyone takes to the sky. Ardent, Janice, Irazumi, Benji up top, Floki, and Wakey actually touch down first. He's going to be right above them as he starts his game. This landing has to be perfect, and he finds his box. Good for him so far, but he's turning on the gas, going in for the big shot on the right side. On the top right of your screen, you can see Benji's POV as how he moves. Thomas HD is desperate, though, and finds another Elim right below him. That's huge. Doesn't get the match, though. He has 2 left, and he's facing a ton of bullets. Gets focused out on the front side, though. Teak, Benji,
Benji has some waiting to control the games.
Frenchman Nate takes out Thomas HD. Now we're on to the English Lord here of Benji with 1 elimination here. 7 points. He has height, yes, and he has peppers here. He's going to have to get a refresh here because he's not going to be able to hold height for so long.
Yo, hold on. No, you had to Benji had all that for Benji. There's always have to do some. This is why it needs to be that. He's short fast from mode.
Right now, Floki, he's homeless and hungry. No mats right now, but he's still trying to eat. Boom, 3's not going to be there. Booba takes him out.
Of the Euro 2020 Denmark versus Wales. Yeah. Still editing, continuing on the contract in this moment. Hard to get the Benji Fishy, man. We've seen it many times to the different city, but never have to see it. He's never seen the final, and he's going for another one. All damage, that's why it was it. Didn't take the mirror. Yeah. Vino and then Benji. And he's gonna run to the ruin. He's not going to top. They still be right.
To save you now, my friend. You're running out of materials. You're gonna be on your walls and your floors. Anything out towards the storm. Chuck Cannon. The advantage is even. He's looking for the final shot. A tree in the way, but there's gonna be no growth for Teak here. Low on HP, low on shields. Tayson's here to wrap it out. Going back to the storm. It's a desperate solution. Tayson fails the block. That's what I'm talking about. Big stakes.
Yeah, take the huge action for now.
But wow, this is what Tayson needed, considering he didn't have a great game one. But this is what can happen in a solo event. All it takes is a couple of pop-offs, and you better bolt your way up the board. Some great work from the former champion.
And that's what I was looking for. Those high-tier seesaw, right side. So we're looking for big names, taking height left and right. We're looking for those crazy boss fights. Thomas H. desperate here and there. Flick 2, I mean, this man somehow survived longer than he needed to. Got that free healing. I mean, you gifted it to him, right? And then after that, he was instantly taken out. That was also one of those games, right? We saw brothers take out brothers. In the beginning spot before you actually also taking shots at each other. If you left one side of your box unattained to, you got shot for like 100 damage.
Yeah, someone is going to get you there, but you definitely have to take it to the analyst desk of Zeke, Reese, and Levin to break down match 2.
Tayson, Levin, Tayson, baby. You know, you can never count this man out. He's always lurking in the shadows, okay? He's always there.
You know, I have my script for today's going to play out. So after game one, I was sort of looking at my script thinking, oh, what's going on here? You know, things are going off the rails a bit, but now we're back on script. We have Tayson winning the game, and, you know, before we get on to Tayson, because there's plenty to say about Tayson, props to Teak. Look, Teak is a phenomenal solo player. Teak has dominated solo competitions in the past. You know, I renamed DreamHack to Teak-Hack because of how dominant he is in those competitions. So we know what Teak can do. I think the big thing is, can you now move this, you know, continue this form forward? But Tayson, beginning of the game, look, I said he'd be able to get a game or two here and there, but even with that, still not on the top of the standing. Sizo being moved down from first place, being overtaken by Vino. Vino in first place. Look, Vino's somebody who a lot of newer people, I should say, aren't familiar with. But Vino is a phenomenal talent, one of the most talented players. I think he's finally starting to get it.
Yeah, I think anyone who's been watching last season knows how good of a player Vino is. You know, if you've been watching in trios and any of
Alright, here comes one of the most just now.
frequently in the leaderboards, and I'm not surprised to see those two games at all, to be honest with you, because some of the players I'm thinking top 10, top 5, but to see him first already after 2 matches, you could be taken away with it.
Yeah, this is really Vino's time to shine, really. Obviously, wasn't able to play his finals, missed out there, but now getting a chance to maybe, you know, make up for some of the earnings he missed. Once again, Thomas still Thomas is best, picking up some fancy highlights. I think, you know, he did play into a bit of trouble. And that does often happen, right? You do see a lot of these players who maybe don't have, you know, the best rotation or the best loot paths and, you know, material paths available to them. Not able to survive for long periods of time. You know, you get into these sticky situations where you run low on mats and it's all over. You can see Benji there in a similar position, even after his pop-off, right? Still running low on mats and then eventually being taken out. You know, these are the things that players are going to be thinking about. Tayson, somebody who talked about, you know, having much more resources available to him than many other players, and that seems to have helped out today in this specific game. How does that move forward? forward in the next sort of games is the big thing.
I mean, I think for Jason in that particular situation, it's like you get that end game refresh where you need it. You manage to get yourself tons of materials. Benji at that moment was running low, so he dropped down. Just to take height. With those extra materials, you know, you're he was looking for it. He was trying to do whatever he could on the low ground. Jason was chilling out. He was relaxed. He had the max and HP advantage too with the chug cannon, so he played it slow, calm, and collected. And I went back earlier today and watched his 12 elimination victory royale from the solo FNCS, the big game that kind of pushed him to be first and to win that. And his reaction, you know what it was? Nothing. Didn't even say a word. You could hear his keys typing away. You could just hear him, not even an excitement on one of the most incredible games I've seen in FNCS history, to be honest with you. Nothing. So I'm trying to wonder, after that victory royale, what was his reaction?
The big thing for me, right, in sort of the final moments of that game is just maybe sort of looking at, you know, height, right? He obviously wins that game from above, and just before that, we saw Benji actually take height for a moment. You know,
you're a 20 guy, man, and jump.
You know, you don't want to take it too early. You know,
you gotta leave you one, and you better jump higher.
You want to try to take it as late as possible. And some of these tactics are even like complicated benches to be. You realize, no one's above me, let me just have it right instead of things changing. So how does that sort of play out?
And at times I think we will see 3-on-3 when the wing backs of Denmark are pushed high.
I don't know how it's happening, but Janis is always in that high ground position.
Forget about Euro 2020.
And then he just drops.
We watched Euro FNCS All-Star Challenge. Anything can happen.
Being said, we're going back into the action.
Shayo,
back over you, boys.
It's back over. Because this is our own big.
This is too much action right now, and it's all with these players who are the rising up-and-comers, the legends, the veterans. They're having trouble right now in the first 2 games.
It's just showing you the talent of all of the players in the EU region. It keeps getting deeper and deeper with every passing FNCS season. And stars that are really great. We're seeing the flashes of brilliance, just like with Benji able just to have a pop-off. We're seeing, you know, Thomas HD having those flashes of brilliance. But the new stars
that are showing you that you're in front of him.
Stars like Vino, which is, like I mentioned during match 1, a dark horse who has the ability to rack up elims. You're looking at a 5th and 4th place in this 1st and 2nd match. I'm expecting some big things from Vino going forward.
Yeah, Vino and Shies are just going to head-to-head right now. Shies also going down a little bit earlier in that last game, so hopefully we're looking for that consistency at the top of the board. It's not only about getting that one game pop-off, but then playing well for the rest of the game.
If you're looking at all the past match histories of the solos of people winning, you see a lot of just like early...
It's the Euro 3! Not the Euro 2020! Watching.
Who's going to be able to shine bright on the biggest stage here on Fortnite and the main channel everywhere? Thank you so much for joining us. And you know how to
go home. Watching in these games.
The best one to watch for you and me, except for that final this is where we see most of the changes. This is where we see desperate people actually making their move, their chance. Snazy all the way in Caddy's corner. He's already starting off with a fight. That's been running through the entire Fortnite Battle Royale island. Looks like Zyku has a few shields to pop. He's going to break that floor. No match for him to hold. He is here from Snazy. He's almost out of ammunition, though. He has to make sure his final shots hit their target.
He has to close this out quickly because he knows it's open.
That's
not a sound you want to hear from Snazy. That is the sound of an SMG, and that's going to send him packing and out of this game. It's about the halfway point. You're right, Shayo. People make the changes. You see Vino picking up Asterios quickly in the lead. So Vino not changing the formula, sticking to it. Actually, he's adding a little more gas to it.
Vino currently our leader right now in the All-Star
Solo. We're gonna go to the
that elimination. Snazy back right there, but unfortunately he's not able to get Caddy for free. That'll affect his loot heavily.
Leaderboard has come.
See exactly we can take that over here. You can see the leaderboard on the left side. It's still a very, very close game. Eliminations, a difference in placement. Everyone's really neck and neck on show. This next game, we could have some completely different names on the top of the board.
Absolutely. And as you've seen, the leaderboard will get shaken up as Seth takes up Reason out and down at the aftermath. But this is the battle that a lot of people on social media had their eyes on. Benji versus Pink. Can Benji officially able to be able to take out Pink and Pink using his sticks? A little bit of mind games that's happening between the two. So for Benji, I just saw this last time Benji went down Williams here. And we'll see if Benji can survive in the in-game. He has the opportunity to take it off.
To try to go to Wales and things. Only way to get
these youngins, they come in and they win the first few games. Because that pressure, the sweat, it builds up over and over. Benji, he's used to the long form games. He's used to he's drawn out 12-game tournaments, but this is just the sixth for now. The 6 matches we're watching.
Oh my goodness, Pink coming in, the shot just missed for Benji. But I've been in these kind of fights here down at the Defiant Dish, and it could take a long time. But it looks like Pink is about to end that quickly here, and now he has Benji on the get the big tag with that green tag here. And now Benji's trying to find a little. There's just so many ways to walk away, and the fight gets run out. Rick Sanchez enjoying the engagement here. Wow, Matthew has had 2 games where he's taken out big names in this All-Star Showdown solo.
All-Star Showdown solos.
I don't know what. Some perspective on that as to how that fight's breaking down. It might be because he has insane loadouts and a powerful type of difference in the weapons he has in his inventory. Because you can see it with Pink versus Benji. This time, when you have it early, you can commit the fights with just one item completely and look so good for Benji. This great point. He's not rated even more than perfect shot, and it's still not going to do a lot of damage. Then follow up with an AR. I mean, that is not the ideal situation. If you're Pink in the situation, all you have to do is just roll in, shots, and commit over and over. Just pressing left, but Benji has to be perfect.
This is a battle between 75th place and 19th place. Benji left Pink in the dust on the leaderboard with that one pop-off game, just something to mini pop-off. Let's be real, it's a little mini pop-off. We used to see him pump everybody, but now he's there in 19th place. So this is how dangerous it is for Benji here. Cannot afford to go down because that movement up the board can happen just as way the opposite side of things. But now Pink out of builds, but still has a lot of environment to kind of take on. And Benji now,
and then
Chapix now is going to be the new competitor that Benji has to face, and now Benji knows who's in front of him.
Phone a friend option on a very hard question for Benji to solve, but at the same time, this is not a friend. This is another enemy. He not only saw that, you know, this fight was going to grind out so long, but there was so many maps used, people farming over and over again. He's going to hunt down both these players.
Benji coming from that bridge south of Boney Birds, a little bit near the aftermath, understanding that that's part of his rotational plan to get him in. He picks it perfectly as Sabir J goes for the shot, and he just hits that launch pad to get away, but he may fall into the embrace of Kinzel, which this is Kinzel's backyard in Coral Castle.
Just to get enough curl on it.
So how lethal features though, right? From the last game, if you give this guy just a window of opportunity, an inch to operate with an AR, he ends up doing 120 damage in like a matter of 2 seconds. This guy's aim is just immaculate. Lifer though, going down with the last survivors from game number 2. I think he became almost close to the top 5. Once again, we got hard stuck on 90 players alive. In a very tricky zone to navigate, no matter if you're the king of Coral, no matter if you're the biggest believer on the beach. You're gonna have to overcome obstacles, go for those early fights, and just operate with like 9 different people around you, waiting for you to make a mistake or leave an opening in your box.
You know how to take that. It's going out to the All-Star Showdown and play against play. That's why we still in the room, it's a team in 3 seconds.
Looking a ball away to
You know what that stop sign's called, no, right? Just hitting the stop sign constantly. And someone that who had the momentum, and I thought this is someone you have to keep an eye on.
Really positive start.
From the French
trying to flick it, bounces back to
Ramsey.
Bale almost in his way.
This is what happens, man. Sometimes there's always one player out of the 4 that are dropping here who's going to be like,
positive views on the left-hand side.
They can create their own cores.
It's 4 people trying to share
because
one
they
battle
got
tell
some
you it just doesn't
huntering.
work. Someone's gonna end up on the couch or on the floor. It's never Noah Riley though. For some reason, this man is just clapping over and over again. This time it's Nate that goes down.
Man, I'm always a guy on that floor, man. Like, all right, man, I'll take it. I'll take the floor, man. I'll take the floor. Noah Riley right now chilling in that king size bed. He got it all right now. He's sitting comfy. But it's not the question of Noah Riley's a fighter. It's about what is the cost of this engagement here.
But you look at the replay there, and he's gonna catch his vision and start leaving still him on the side. He's one of his now big shuffle.
Right there. This guy insta-fished the flopper like that was
Fish
insane.
the flopper. You can see how much
Look like he's never touched the keyboard before. I mean,
keyboard before. Moving fast, but and shipped it for 2 healing points. So we're kept and change to win it with 38 points. That gives you enough.
It's very interesting to watch.
Going to
they got to about 5
box to box.
the wingbacks got a decision.
Separating them.
You see the chance there.
Stompy using the power of his pickaxe to hack his way through. Trulex,
And Bale with the shot, the scores
champion, responds.
just wide as Smite goes close.
Stompy gonna go for a
Wingbacks got a decision to make through there.
No other eyes in this engagement here, and Trulex is still being a little bit of a nuisance. Brings him down a couple layers back. This is the kind of thing that you gotta be careful here. You can't let it draw out too much.
Wales have
How much is this?
you'll see.
Look at the zone. Look at the zone. Right there, good. Yeah, put up. It's not the zone. It's not the zone. Go in, like, I'm gonna take them and like them. Big onlook, okay? We're going to the big onlookers.
It's not even bad. It's like you still get aggressive and then not grief your entire
Now how much is the entire game? Because they have.
Maybe Trulex actually has those white heels and he's feeling.
I'm gonna go for the
It's not even
DPC
about
dash.
disengagement entirely. It's about choosing where you want to have your fights.
First because I had to escape. First because I not leave the cell until he killed the last player because he had 0 point precious power.
I mean, this is what I'm talking about. Jules is gone.
Jules is gone now. He's gonna go to Western away.
Stuff here in the zone. Y'all can do what you want, and now Trulex is just calling a complete impasse. I mean, Stompy has so many matches too. I'm not sure why he's allowing this. He can easily disengage and keep making boxes, base up, and then shoot. He can do exactly what he's doing now and not take zone damage, but it's personal. It looks like for these guys.
Yes.
On a timer, on a clock, he's gonna have to go straight
We're
over.
going
He might be the one that actually forced this fight, moved the zone early, and hit that range ball, trick Stompy into the store. I'm sure that's trying to
He's gonna have to try and flow.
plan is here, man.
He's gonna start floating over.
That could be a team that's in Bales. He's not trying to campfire maybe and weeping. There's a lot to use, but he's going straight to Jules.
He's gonna
Now
go straight
Stompy
to Jules.
is on the disengage. Trulex seeing the pad being used, decides to chase after here. Jules may have a free healing if he wants it. He understands that there's definitely 2 people behind him. He's in the region.
It's interesting though, Steve, Christiansen has basically gone into the midfield position as the number 6 to watch Ramsey.
Took out a couple of names here today.
He's sitting in front of Kier, Vestergaard at the moment. Denmark's
One of
number
those things
6,
that,
Chelsea
Noah
defender.
Riley, the deal and Reason are having those kind of days where they're popping off. This is 41st place right now coming into this game. They're having those, they're getting those fights, they're getting those early engagements, but right now, what I want to see is that the deal and Reason slow down in day 2 of the FNCS where they play for placement, they got those positions. The communication between
one of these
keep it easy.
When this comes to playing his game right now, yeah, maybe got a freebie off spawn. He got to survive over at the dish, but he's been here for a while, Sancho. Now he has to move out, but once again, he's finally leaving.
And I gotta say,
Davis, one-on-one situation.
That nightmare world.
This man was carrying a gold legendary sniper in-game. So he's just showing you how confident he is with it. One of the best snipers.
In the world. Ooh, let's start.
Striker, hamstring injury as well.
You gotta go for this one and this one.
60 below for Voltix. I mean,
he's
chaos around the Kaiser, who's the target of that.
He's gonna have to go to truck, speed.
It takes so much utility, it takes so much time. He won't be able to afford that really when, you know, you have a choice yes or no. Now, if the zone moves past that bridge, we'll have to expend, but for now, lots of bases here, not many went above it.
Vino, our leader right now on the board, as Savage picks up DKS. Vino came in 5th in 4th place, 6 Elans total respectively. Now has another possible victim in his way here. Actually, this is Shadow and Red Bull. Matthew takes out Seahorse. Shadow here. This is the engagement as well. 200 HP versus 150. There's still an action here happening in Believer Beach. This is Storm Surge affecting this fight here.
It's going to be active here in just a moment. Shadow, 5 below, really needs to land the shot. He's already missed the first tee. Going down, pleasing. Eliminated. Mr. J. The traffic jam causer's gone 149 damage. Oh my goodness, that's way to shoot Shadow all the way up the rankings. It cost him too much. I don't see a fishing rod, so I'm going to get any fish outside Believer Beach right now to kind of level up that white HP. He'll pop the hot flopper to make sure he has a little bit of HP to move with some speed. Has to find some method advantages somewhere. They're always up around, not the priority target for people to pick up off the spot. Meanwhile, other side, Shizo. Game 1 with 45 points, second place right now, Sancho. He's also just moving for free, it looks like.
Yeah, he's moving for free now, but in the previous match, he got taken down around this time, as we saw him defeat Hen and Anas going down. The Guild Boys going up early in this game. Shizo, I think he just kind of caused some big explosion and had he could catch Rex.
Catch around here, really? Go to flip around here. No, this is
Shizo gets attacked. Shizo is going to have to get some eliminations here, but the fire is so strong, you got to be careful. Those are being nasty. 15 HP down with the chug cannon.
Good, quite right. I'm not sure, quite sure. He's going to play this here. He's going to be up to this. Okay, affected by fire. He's gonna go.
The goal here for Shizo was to look for some type of pressure to get Rax all the way off of his big tower, because a lot of those guys sometimes might be down on surge. He did get better to Elon. Unfortunately, with a mini as well, because Siphon came in, put him above 150 HP, and he topped one, and he's trying to right before. He's 12 in total as he moves through. Lots of launch pads, gets a lot off of Raptor's body. He was just right there. Looks like he finds all the goodies from that Elon Vortex, though, going down to Ref Squad right now. And this man might have the most eliminations, right, of all time in terms of solo finals. This is a very, very different finals, though, right? There was no open, big, qualifying, overtime system going in. This is SNCS
All-Star Showdown. How much he can go to the big memory ball. On place, you got the ready to play Fortnite Championship. And he's one of those very escape team, which I'm fine doing
all that is off the board. So that's what I'm so excited here. Last time Tayson was a champion was in season 4.
Well,
I thought this guy coming all over the north side with all his fishing spots available to have at least some buffers, but it looks like there's no fishing there. They all went
but very powerful.
It looks like he's actually going to be out of options in that game. Purple shotguns are huge, right, Sancho? Even with the actually what everyone be rolling in with. It's just so empty. Not even like a blue, green, or purple gold one. If you just have a gray AR, it can help you out rolling in with the game. The biggest issue though, right? Whether there's blue or not, if you don't have you're going to be at a loss for everything, every type of pressure in the game.
All the competitors are making a move, and my point is Deceptos came in second place in that same season that Tayson was the champion, so that's what I'm saying. Like, he is supposed to do well. Like, he's one of those ones on paper that would have a top 15 finish, but so far on the bottom of the board here, Wakey with 16 points total. Wakey looking solid, having 1 elimination. Wakey coming in 39th place into this match here. Kiku picking up Mosh in the feed. And then we're taking a look here. Wakey only has a short rotation to make his way in. Has Mayhem in front of him.
Yes, and Mayhem's a 5 minute because it's gonna
has a nice perch on top of a mountain here. So many people in this for Savage, and that's what I'm very concerned about for Savage here. He has so much people surrounding him on this rotation. Yeah, he has a clean drop, but it gets awfully dirty making his way through the safe zones.
And I'm trying to figure out exactly where Bino is. How some of these top 5 people are looking. Fast stroke, we've been rolling in this game. How is he looking currently right now? Thomas HD, if he's still alive, where he could be inside these zones. Yes, Janice is down, but where's Stacey's position?
He's down, but we have Stacey's position.
For the moment, man rolling in 7th place, 35 points. He needs to make up a lot.
That's what it's like.
Pizza goes down, Toos not gonna be here either. Seems like Blue Back is sitting out.
Blue Back.
Fast moving to play.
I would say Thomas HD is in a lot better position than he was in previous matches. He has the mats, he has the launch pad, he has the firepower. Thomas HD, I'm expecting
how much you can say
representing Denmark as the most players ever
It's not about the takeoff though, Sark. So the launch pad is great.
Big championship
it's about that landing. This is when you actually lead and land in the zone. Max rotation for Thomas HD.
Go to the big championship.
Desperate eyes looking into that time right now.
All around them. The time is something.
Thomas and a bunch of people who are above watching the move, but people like Shizo, second place, they're desperate. It's genius, but it's seen. Baby, that low trick won't work.
He's going to go up. Oh, God, he's going to yeah.
He's to land a shot here. He's
but
down. So close.
He's so close.
Just survives that storm.
Guys, look at that. Wow, lovely. Has a striker in his arm. And Thomas HD now taking final kill. No target Thomas here. But Bino! Okay, I wonder what Bino is. There is. It's started on that. It's going to move on and make its way to his side and going to start getting his blood on that. Because that is going to go and pick up the elimination and take the choice is damage. He's getting to damage mode because he's trying to make sure he's on safe mode. Got damage and he's trying to go play for my mistake. He's go for average players and never to go show hard. Players, working on harder stuff and he's quite good to join new tomorrow. But Tuesday will be England versus Germany I'm playing. I can't wait to cheer England up because this is how I play.
Is here, it's a barren wasteland. It has to use his final match to try to get in, and it's a small top corner of the box.
So I took it a box and he's gonna go through.
He pushed Bino to use his mats to get up away from him. Now he's down to desperately hitting, and Shizo finally gets found out.
How close? No, true this.
Rewarded with those 2 healing points.
Holy cow.
With that choke cannon. So that's going to be a great win condition for Bino with 1 E-limb. He's going to do well to accept some big wasting now. Has to follow up and get away from that pressure tactics that we saw earlier. Poke at Benji fishing. Now we're on board with Ambulix. Points. Thomas HD. Is that the start that we were looking for?
Traffic? Or like go for a big dress up game. You gotta go all
absolutely crazy.
You gotta go for dress up games, you gotta go to traffic because it's lovely going on. These times they choose to take out value projects and
ground. This man that's been suppressed the entire, I would say, back-to-back FNCS game. That top 3. No teammates to worry about right now, though. No off-spawn contestations. It's about him controlling the end game. Controlling the end game. Names popping up on every single region right now because of how good he is at maintaining control. The thing is, he's looking for the retake. He's going on the left side. That zone, it's all the way towards the back. Chances as chooses actually to go up. That's Andalex's plans, though. He's worried. He's focusing on the deal. Meanwhile, Thomas HD, this man's a big down Sancho, and he's looking pretty good.
Coming into the fight in 7th place, you saw Vino as well. Our first place leader still looking solid in this fight. Sapid picking up Blackie. Wakey taking out Vino. Our first place is gone as Thomas AC is on the same layer as Wakey here. He might be able to pick up this elimination, but he gets tagged for leaving that edit open here. Thomas AC is in shambles in a bit when it comes to the angle.
It's gonna go through on the back. Look what he did. Oh dear. Denmark scored 0-1. That's horrible. I want to see how it ends this time. How they're on 16 winners are always trying to win because he's always winning the Fortnite match. He's winning for the foot and then he's going to start winning. After the very end because of how much people know. So how to bring angle to and go both his own way, because then you know how good it is.
He gets shut out, and now with 6 people left, this is where that real comes in.
Regardless of the finish of Tayson, this is a great game when you follow up that victory out. These are the string of games that you need to be able to solidify yourself in this situation in terms on the leaderboard. Tenzel, a big name in the region, a DreamHack champion, trying to pick up as many loot as possible here. Has that chunk candy, and he has to work with. This is a top 5 situation. Game 3 of the All-Star Showdown solos. And cashes in on this high ground power place.
Tayson right now.
He's going to be
organized.
He's going to go.
He's looking to survive. We'll see exactly who can move in out of these blue box. The last player here too. It's a steep price to pay to stay alive. Tayson. Alien builds is using the last few for the final fight.
Let's go. Get down. He's gonna go to Andalux. However, trying to beat the guy. Going to pin, and he's gone. He's working. Let's take a look at all the other teams and finally, how to get that. The highlight days to go. So that I'll try again to go through this. I have to look. It hasn't time. He's really going to start taking all the fire. He's going to go take a feed on cross. That's how he's going to take it. Now to go cross 18 down. He's going to go to very straight. Because you know what?
There we go, ladies
There you go.
and gentlemen. Games. I mean, this is pretty good. So Andalex, I like what Sancho said there, just kind of holding off Tayson for a little while, okay? Andalex doing his best job. I believe I only saw the 2 eliminations, and that worries me, friends, because yes, the eliminations and the victory route are great, but you really need to get more than just a handful. 2 or 3 is really not enough. But Levin, once again, Tayson, I mean, this guy, just top 5, made top 5 in FNCS Invitational
and Jordan, once again, look at that, it was either one prediction right now. He is holding, or
coming up and making it to 2nd place, he's already won. That's a victory in itself.
He's sitting there above these 2 safe. It's only game 3. 3 eliminations in the 2nd place isn't too bad.
Sometimes it's hard to start.
First place with 4 eliminations.
4 eliminations and so you're sitting there just sitting there top 10 and not how he's back involved in the game.
Honestly, look, that was a nice finish.
Could have that
comeback of the century, but it did end up going to under that
ending up
it was good to see him finally get involved.
Got finally involved.
It just kind of reminds me of his last season too. They had a really bad first day in trios, and then the second day they came back. Someone I know on Twitter tweeted that Nate just got the O'Reilly treatment, and that's exactly what just happened.
How much something seems to be low and damage to me seems to survive better. It's funny to do this. These are able to enter that. Can't enter this round here, though. This is what I talked about the players earlier then, and he's like, try hard, Andy! What don't he do? He's going to win around. You face it up. And he can do this! He's only up hard. He's doing ground things. Hard, but hard to use them.
If you want to win, you gotta start picking it up, because Tayson will just run away with it if you allow him to continue to have these games. It's crazy because you look at your limb feed and you think, who's these players down? Who's left? And then see him right there, Tayson just sees him there in the end game, right? You have all these top players cycling in, all these players who expected to do well cycling in game to game. But Tayson so far, since that 2nd game, just been there. That's what you need if you want to, be someone who's winning these events. You need to have a couple of these good games. One more good game from Tayson, and you might want to start hanging it up. You switch off your mouse and look for charge and just move on to the next competition, because he can just run away with it if you give him that opportunity.
Yeah, I kind of said a few times that in a 6-game format,
and SHOWDOwn Championship.
You know, how a first or a second, some close to another top 3, and then a kind of top 5, maybe top 10, depends on what the other players are doing. We'll just take the 2 hardest of them off the list already, a first and a second. 3 games less, you know, there's definitely still close, like Vino and Floki's still super close to him, and Jetsku actually in 4th position as well. So, 3 more games left to go.
I hate to cut you off, but I'm getting worried. The bus is going. We got to go back up to the cast and send it back their way for the next game. The FNCS Invitational.
Yeah, the FNCS Invitational might get renamed to the TNCS Invitational, because right now, Sancho, it's Tayson's world, and it's one more game of his universe that we're living in.
I mean, Tayson landing, where he is be able just to have so much mobility, so much freedom to do what he does best. And Tayson right now, this match
he's gonna start winning. That is a horrible Martian.
Vino in 2nd, Floki in 3rd, Jetsku actually with a surprising performance in 4th, Saizo, who's been in 4th for a long time in 5th, Kinzel, the back 2-time DreamHack champion in 6th, and you have Fast Roki in 7th, and Blueback in 8th. Wow, anything is happening right now. The chaos is unfolding, Sire. So, man, that's what I don't know what's expected.
I want to see players over the skies more right now. Every endgame we'll be watching so far. It's a person who has height by like the 7th zone that just ends up keeping it the entire time. Those rebound layers end up elevating the entire build to about 7 or 10 rounds. It's very hard for anyone to try to retake that entirely. So Tiger can just sit there, do what they want. Some of them spawn too. I mean, they've been struggling. Snazy, he's spotting Vinny's, he's looking good. Last time had a free heal almost, but Snazy won't have the option. Mushrooms and whatnot here. either, but he has the chance to just beam him all the way through. One more wall separating Zaiku from just living or complete failure, and somehow he gets to run away again.
That ball
But
just
the
not
Force has lost it. Christensen
knocked out here. Now has the SMG. He does have a close weapons to take his engagement. Last time we were tuning in, he only had an AR and a sniper. He closed that out, no doubt. His current trio mate and Alex get the victory out, maybe give him a little bit more power. But now we see Joku, a former teammate at Jetski here, and in another battle with Pence.
Well, this is a strat I have not seen before. And while it happens, Pink actually takes out Benji this time off spawn, so that fight's also going back and forth. Did he end up sprinting there? I'm exactly hear him, I'm not sure, but the alpha position, I guess, is not going to work, but I guess he's going to keep going for it for a long amount of time.
I bet he'll try and win a Fortnite match tonight.
There's just so many different ways that you have to so treacherous sometimes to say.
Because you know how much they use for the post.
Any corner, someone could be killing in, someone could be hiding in a corner, someone watching a chest. We've seen someone bait launch pads. All that you have to account to as we're now in this new landmark here down at the disc. Let's take a look at the replay of what happened to Benji Fishy here. And it's the same thing, but this time Pete just got in there. He got a big tag right there and just.
He's gonna go for that song that I was going to.
Yeah, it feels like that's the difference once again between having a top gun spot and having a pump. Pink just rolls in. Only has to just keep hitting left click on a target. Never has to switch. His fingers don't have to move. Keyboard hands, so he just has the best movement possible. Meanwhile, Benji hits that big 100 pump. Doesn't have the time to be able to switch again. It'd be sick if he could just shoot another shot, but Pink was there with it, slightly faster. And that just gets removed. This time, though, the game, it looks like it's a lot slower, Sancho. 95 people still alive, only 3 gone down off spawn. Hen's gonna be jumping into Misty once again, and looking for any way to get the loot and get out, but Pizza and Arnate here with so many enemies moving by. Okay, he gets a launch pad. You don't get to have too much of control of Misty.
As I mentioned before, Hen winning an NAE solo Cash Cup champion. I feel like anytime we're watching DreamHack, Hen's always causing the nuisance in the North America side of things. And Hen finishing first place in the Season 5 trios with Hen and Janice. I mean, now he's just on this retreat right now, and I'm just surprised here. This guy finished 4th and 10th respectively in the solos and the solos invitational. And if it doesn't start now, I just think it's just one of those ones that's just a wash for him today.
Just talking about his heart beating 24/7 on socials. That he's, you know, really getting in basically versed inside all of this. He's really immersed completely in the competition. Because of that, every surprise, every stressful situation is even more nervous for him. I believe that. Pratik as well, 34 points in total right now. He's about half the points almost of first place. Jason, he has 69 versus 70. After some of the placement gets handed out in this game. A lot of these top contenders, Sancho, I think this would be the game where they have to have a solid performance, or they're going to be looking to just get in the top 10. They won't have a chance to win the entire solo invitation.
And definitely Teak is kind of used to this kind of being by himself. They do that Cami split, and you're usually by yourself for a while before you reconvene on that green bridge. And Teak is no stranger to the solo in the World Cup, finished 43rd, and of course, he's a 3-time DreamHack champion, picking up 2 solo victories, and of course, a duo with SETI. Here on the other side of Believer Beach, and now we see Nate, who got the treatment from Noah Riley. I don't think Nate will be a returning customer to the Noah Riley spa. I think he's done for the day and does not want any piece of that, but so far, it looks like Noah Riley may be on the north side here. Now we're back here to Port Crumpet, in a battle between Siberia and Jetski.
That's made it pretty far in that last game, so had a way to hold this fight up the spot. Looks like this time though, when it comes to game number 4, and they're rolling in, and the adjustments people are making, sometimes it's to get more aggressive. Siberia with what looks like 0 points right now rolling in for today's tournament. He has to look to switch things up, has to look to get aggressive, but It's going to be hard to play these
hard
balls to get a drop on the jet ski. This man is really good at defense, and yeah, you can get a shot off of him, but now you've lost all control of the fight. You don't have high ground anymore, and guess who's looking to fight?
This is a battle between 9th place and the current 4th place. So Jetsku, a lot more at stake as Siberia goes for the SMG dive, hits the bottom of the pool, doesn't be able to cash in on that one. 0 points from the judges on that dive as Jetsku, you're right, the defense is there, but he's very elusive, very tough to catch. And now Jetsku now screens out. I see in the feed that actually Andelix, the game 3 winner, down in the feed. So Andelix unable to string those games like Tasting did earlier. And that's what you're going to have to do if you want to have the big zeros added to your paycheck.
This elusiveness comes at an expense, though, for Jetsku. So many mats invested here. That being said, he doesn't have to really use many more. Siberia is the one actually expending a lot of these resources to reclaim walls. And while he tries to, that single millisecond of a moment that he's replacing a stair with a cone, Jetsku's looking for that shot. Boxed out now, though. Siberia goes for the bullet instead of the build. He will have a chance to shoot, misses, that costs him. Now he has to reset.
He's got to go to getting on the fight, and this is taking a while. That's zone, that's the first one.
It's been rolling in, and finally hits these guys on their isolated fight.
Isolated fight, we'll talk about that side of the map.
This is just going to be trouble. It's going to be trouble for both competitors, even if they get an Elam here. Even if they try to make it out, Siberia actually forcing the composure away from Jetsku. He was sick and tired of the fight, maybe running out of builds. He gets that Elam, and they'll actually be able to keep up with zone to get back in the game.
4th place going down early in match 4. Now we're on 4th with 7th place coming into this matchup. That's Roki on the defense as well. Hen maybe starting up as he takes out Mr. J. Vortex, one of our Elam today, taking out Mappy. So Mappy is just inconsistent today, hot and cold, taking out the names of the E region while getting taken out, and Flick actually cleans up that in the feed as well. But
you know how much they're all around in here.
Shift focus, and look how Andelix went down there.
When you try to build that,
they could not defend against the Asterios, and we all know here's the Titans of the EU region, Vidil going down as well to IRES.
Go down to Iron Crappers.
Man, these guys are looking for that, you know, the big shot.
Yes, we know it's going to be on big shot and the control in here. Trying to play first. What?
You know, and just flipping the board.
Yeah, I'm flipping the board like we have to.
What a good lane from Exterios there as well. Just rolling with that shot. That was just amazing.
And you've seen Irezumi, the team of the Aftermath, taking out Anas as well. So Anas and Vidil on the pickaxe right now of eliminations for Irezumi. Your podcast, I just want to bring this up. How you're in the solos, you're going to have those box diving defense and offense. And right now we're seeing that. We're seeing players using those box dive, being uber aggressive, forcing the 50-50s. And when you don't have the defense against it and you're not ready for it, you see the ultimate price is being eliminated.
It has the entire package here, and there's so many people who might not even be used to box diving, but will be forced to. We're trying to play passive. I'm not sure.
I'm gonna have to go to the big tile.
Could just roll off the right side here, man. But
off the white side.
Something behind is that there's no reboot card in the zone. There was something there. I guess I missed it. Maybe it was builds.
I mean, this is the thing. Like Shizo, yeah, you started off hot, but we all kind of realized there was like an asterisk there. Shizo. We all know that Shizo, can he do it for these kind of games intensity? Yeah, he was able to capture the glory early on, but it is so tough to keep on. It is definitely a marathon here, and Shizo needs to survive that to be able to answer his critics, so to speak.
I still don't see what he was trying to do. Big trap though. Not his 4, gets the reset, gets him up, but he's taking too long. Okay. That's the next shot.
Be right back, please.
Right now. For some reason, can't transition into a spray or upkeeping the pressure of damage fast, and it's costing them. This tack is just winning every single early game fight. And Shizo, I mean, I guess it's unorthodox, it's unexpected. He's doing some weird pathing inside that storm to find some type of item. It baits out that opponent there, and he just gets the Elam.
Shizo just silencing those critics for a brief moment here as Kenzel picks up Malabuka. Now we're on board with Thomas HD making his way through, and looks like we're going to have an in-game near Weeping Woods. So a lot of sight lines will be blocked by the trees. We always have to bring that up, especially in a launch pad mobility meta. So that's going to afford a lot of people to be able to get those easy glides here. Now up to Bony Burbs. You're taking a look at Reason, who landed here during the FNCS trios. Reason has a great stake of overseeing the land here, looking for those valuable tags with that burst rifle.
He is in the scariest spot and the riskiest spot in the server right now, and it might not look like it, but every time I see someone 4 or 5 layers up at the moment, they're getting sniped, Sancho. Chapix, half and half, people rotating. Barely even peeking his head, he's staying dynamic. I mean, Thomas HD. Brap, it's just there, right? Like, it just, it is so difficult to go for surge tags in this manner, which is why maybe we're seeing a lot of box dives, but for some reason, every single tower right now is getting invaded by sniper shots.
And you're hearing those sniper shots ring out in the distance.
Absolutely, so we'll see. Reason make a switch right there. Floki finding out.
Thank you, finding out him. Back in business, guys! We have a baby right here. Something.
Now the Bulls are set ablaze.
Floki in third place here. So just like you saw Jetsku go down early, this is going to be babies going up against the FNCS champion from last season, Easy here. Floki using every aggression he can with the pickaxe here. This is the nice pressure that we've been seeing. This is definitely expending the mats of Queasy here. He forgets to block his backside. Puts up some mats and he keeps going forward. He has the tunnel vision and he has Queasy in his sights. He wants this elimination here, but you have to be careful. All it takes is one pump reaction, and looks like it's going to have to be a tack shotgun reaction, and that will stop you right in your tracks as Matzo picks up Sapphire.
You go for what you want to say?
Also up inside a fight.
Oh god! Like, oh, so much. And he's gonna
yes, but
go.
From what I'm looking at right now, everyone's just
everyone.
battles just because of the third
I see it.
He's found it, right? He's found it over and blocked it off with the ramp now, so it's not gonna be possible to do.
Gonna have to do something. I'm gonna do the watcher fire for tomorrow.
Zone is gonna be moving in just a minute here. I know there's some people taking storm surge damage right now around. It's actually Wakey who
we gotta have to go to Wakey's moment.
That's even worse for the moment. These 4 people, I would say only one survives making it to surf.
Who's going to be the one in this Fatal 4 battle here at Lockjam? Janice gets taken out.
Yeah, he's gonna have to go to the battle.
In this fight. Wakey in desperate need of Storm Surge. That's why he's entering this fray. Here comes Slender. The 2 Loot boys kind of swirling around this engagement now. Wakey has to get in. He has to get in. He's not being really aggressive. He's trying to catch somebody, but the Storm Surge, those purple lightning is making him an easy target, and Queasy gets right in his face and takes him out quickly with some 2 shots of the tag.
Only one person was brave enough to stay here inside, and that was Queasy. Look at this Elam real quick right now. Boom, boom, Wakey.
Yeah, the way boom, boom, Wakey. He's gonna go for the
drops a launch pad as well for Queasy to use for the rest of the game. He will be slightly delayed on that rotation.
Slightly delayed on the rotation.
Hey, you know,
you're not gonna lie, it's your wild.
I used to be a Velcro kid, nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. But now what I'm concerned about is we saw Andelix, we saw Snazy find some success. X-Squeeze, their other trio mate, has not found any success here. Only 1 point to his name. Frenchman is struggling today. X-Squeeze is one of those other people that are really quick to get into those eliminations. It's Janice, O'Reilly, and X-Squeeze. And so far, this is not working out for him.
Yeah, because you know how much he's doing.
He's looking to just stay up top, but let's see exactly where he just came from. I see the sniper in hand. Okay, that's slow motion, so I mean that's basically a quick scope right there that he pulled out. Drops that sniper zone. This is one of the coolest things about having these like very risk-reward power weapons. Once you get an Elam with them, once you actually have that risk of keeping them in your inventory, you can get rid of the top completely. You can set yourself up with that sniper as well. You can pick up pop poppers or different things to be able to use that sniper from different vantage points, and then drop all of it when you get one Elam. Replace it with what that person had, and chuck splashes into the inventory there of Vino as he moves. We saw what happened the last time he had them in his inventory. This man, the entire tournament. the wins look good, everything, or just the consistency look good in general. He makes it so far deep into the game. The 5th, 4th, and then 26th place. Now he's going to be looking to get consistent once again. For X Squeeze, consistency, I mean, that's just thrown out the window right now. He's trying to just get one game on the board.
You're all looking at Squeeze here. Comes in 11th place. Last time we had a solos competition was about 9 months ago. And now back to Mr. Savage, another EU star. Not yet. This rocket has not left. It's not in the stratosphere. It's not in space. Right now, Savage going for the clever edit down top. Oh my goodness, but that gets the attention of the lobby.
Get some big belly button hits back on.
It was last season in the FNCS. In about game 11, I believe, he was on this rotation through Weeping Woods, needing to have a game to be able to hold on, and now Savage still in the world of hurt.
I'm wondering why he just basically unedited all his builds completely. It feels like people would then catch an eye to that happening there too.
Maybe he thought someone was up there, I'm not quite sure, but I agree with you.
Yeah, that literally just got more eyes on him. There's something there that I guess I just missed, because definitely wouldn't be that much of an obvious mistake. Still, he'll roll in, he'll get pressured, had lots of eyes on him, maybe it was just completely indifferent. Cammy's kind of popping off and moving up the ranks as well, game to game, making it further on. Kaiser, I mean, he just picked up 2. I was looking at his socials for a minute as well. He was like, man, these games are not going my way. I might just turn on the key, and he really is. He picks up Cammy, he picks up another. He's looking to be dangerous. Shizo, though, I mean, I am pausing all my analysis when I see this man move. He does things I can't predict, Sancho, so I'm going to enjoy the way he's attacking the field right now.
What he has to do is use this unorthodox way to make his way through on this rotation. No arrows looking his way, and he's been free all day. Just free. Sometimes you look at a guy, you're like, wow, he has it all, you know, he has it all figured out. And then you try to mimic what he exactly does, and you pay the price. This is not supposed to be happening. Saizo's not supposed to be moving. This guy, all the bullets, he's like, enter the code. He sees the 1s and 0s, and no one can touch this man.
This is just crazy. He gets boxed off as well by Bad Sniper. Gets the lift for now. Okay, the punishment finally comes in. I feel like he's surrounding himself with certain zones and players that might not be as good at punishing mistakes, or they're figuring out their own things as well. I feel like Shizo just has perfect timing in general. Right there, though, you know, the issues is just him choosing weird paths. Bad Sniper sees him coming, sees that easy box off the trap, gets the Elam, and more importantly, Sancho, look at the AR, look at Bolt Sniper info, purple tag, launch pad. This, if there's anyone on the server right now that has a maximum potential to do well this game, it has to be Bad Sniper.
Agent Bad Sniper took out Mr. Shizo, and we're taking a look at the mini-map on the bottom right. Look at this. Now, wow, Thomas AC actually pulls half and half, and a majority of the servers on the side. I was about to point out that the dead side there was not a lot of people here. Someone must have figured out that everybody has to be in this corner of the half in and half out. Half in the storm, half in the safe zone here. And Tayson still alive with 3 peppers. This is a recipe for success, and that recipe gets a little bit of splash of spice when he gets those tags on staff.
Everyone was moving in. 200 AR is enough for him to actually do damage from long range. Has all the pressure as well. Go tack. Moving in as he jumps from build to build. 4 layers up high in the sky. Is this high ground possibly, or a situation where he can, grab it? Yes, but Queez is here now. Fucking Shaycause. Every single Titan that's been taken down. Multiple big names just beside him. He has to be careful as Exterios goes down in the feed.
Now we're seeing another name that's moving up the leaderboard as well. It's Slender. Slender coming into this match with 10th place finish right now, sitting really solid with 50 points. He's definitely moving up the leaderboard. Look at this inventory. It's filled with a lot of mercury, and that is fish. He has 6 total, and 2 of those are hot fish. So expect him to be someone who could be to taking that high ground quickly.
Yeah, because otherwise I need to ask for a
wow, the Chug Cannon is there. 3 elimination. Vino coming into 2nd place into this matchup, and by far one of the most consistent players besides Tayson here today.
He's playing things so well too. You heard Levin talk about him, right? Like the OGs, they might be rolling in knowing exactly what the new players might not exactly understand what is going through with them, but we'll see Tayson on basically a complete different path than Vino when he's rolling in. Fleck and Alexa actually end up taking height. This is 1st place right now. that you're looking at. He's gotten 3 points so far this game. These peppers last 1 minute each, so if he makes it to the 7th zone, he could have permanent speed rolling in.
Concentrate! Timing, because I want to win the Fortnite match! Because he's gonna go to the beat.
And entertaining Italian side, and Italy's always been famous for sitting back and waiting and then counter-breaking. Not under Roberto Mancini. Roberto Mancini gives them trust, gives them energy, and philosophy to go forward.
He has some history as well with Austria here tonight, with a German manager. Through to the knockout stage of the European Championship for the very first time. They are the outsiders, if you like, of the last 16. What do they need to do tonight to pull off a bit of a show?
Well, I think Austria, if you look at the roster, the players, they're all very experienced. I mean, Alaba first and foremost, but all the other players, pretty much all of them play in the Bundesliga, except the goalkeeper plays for Watford. And they will give them a tough time. They will be nasty. They will be all over the Italians. They will frustrate them. They know that they're the outsiders, but they have nothing to lose. They believe in their chance.
What about in terms of how you think the game will go? Will Italy have too much, or is there starting to be a weight of expectation now on them, given the form that they're on, that they will now have to handle?
I think that actually Austria will not sit back completely and just wait what the Italians will do. They will try to find their own chances to play their own game. They have good, very technically gifted.
Not gonna find it. Fucking slender. They go down to Virox Fino.
So up front with Arnautovic, he can hurt you in any second of the game. So I think actually it will be a quite open game. Maybe after 20 minutes of kind of taking out each
not
other,
gonna be high
they will go for it.
Yeah, well, it's
the truth is, he's gonna have to take a battle back because I'm keep it going.
From 7:30 building up to Italy against Austria.
Thank you, Jürgen, and thank you, Ailey, and of course,
How
coming down to it here. And on Tuesday, we'll be back there for live coverage. It is first and second Germany. England start in their win over the Czech Republic.
It's just a matter of points here. Tayson with a great, unbelievable 3 games finish right now. About to get close to the top 10. Now Tayson gets to the top 10. Now Vino is coming up behind.
He's gonna go right. He's good. He's always gonna. Yeah,
he's gonna need a refresher because he only has soft mastery 25 kills. Felix is able to catch Peasy on the low ground, and now he's up to back to old builds, and this is gonna be huge for Vino. Not only that, the place is going to be wrapped in as you see a new name join that Elan beat.
Vino on top, second place. Tayson down below in first, opposite corners of the earth. Julex, he's looking for shots. Has an entire angle on a full layer of surprises around every corner.
He's gonna go around every corner.
Top 10 as the zone gets smaller. We're in the final line here. A minute 20 seconds left for every competitor alive right now. Julex sees something.
Oh, he's gonna go.
But he can't do anything. Sneezy behind the square wall could have that edit too. This is the
He's gonna go for this. He's gonna go for this.
a lot of things in front of him. Conversation fans Tayson now to stay alive. No one's actually watching where he is. It's at his corner of the feed. Vino now is on top of the screen. Dropping down a lot of pressure.
Vino has plenty of A artists, and now Stacey picks up Julex here. We are looking at first and second once again. Tayson only down to 3 builds at top. It's HD. The ninth place coming in. Tis taken out by Vino. Vino, oh my goodness, you're performing out of your mind right now. And Tayson gets picked up by Hen. Actually gets picked up by Snazy. So Hen picks up Snazy. So Hen is right there. Hen having a performance that he needed. He had literally single digits, now in the double digits with 9 elims.
We wanted to eat it. He's gonna go through. It's over here. And takes him over here. The video comes here. And that was the end of the match. The match ends early because I'm feeling very, very tired. I'm not really perfect about it. Why did he? Oh my lord. Anyway, because after 3, then comes the end. So